parang may nagkaroon ng time na nawala yung self-worth ko.
You know, you have to work to help your husband with the finances, to help prepare finances for your children for their future.
Kasi dito sa Pilipinas, pag age mo ng 35, wala na. Para kasing etsapuera ka na.
And it feels like hindi ko alam kung paano ko mag-gain yung confidence ko pag naging mom na sila. Parang nawawala na yung career path nila.
Kasi na-fed up ako sa sobrang traffic. So, papasok, dahil madaling araw, either mag-grab ako or mag-aangkas, which is malaki-laki yung expenses.
The time spent with your kids and family are far more important than any job title out there.
Nag-decide ako na maghanap ng online job at nakakuha nga ako. Sobrang saya ko talaga. Kaya tinulungan ko rin yung iba kong mga mommy friends at nagkaroon rin sila ng sarili nilang online job. Kaya doon ako na-inspire at nag-decide na simula ng Filipino home-based moms.
FHMoms community was created for mothers, for single women, for women professionals and entrepreneurs, for women overseas Filipino workers, for differently abled women, and even for young at heart women. FHMoms is a women community.
Nung nagsimula yung FHMoms, hindi ko in-expect na ganito ka magiging malaki. Ngayon, meron na kaming more than 250,000 members nationwide. Dati, ang tingin ng mga tao sa amin, community lang. No? Ngayon, social enterprise na kami with different projects na tumutulong sa mga kababaihan.
We have free webinars about freelancing, entrepreneurship, parenting, and personal growth. We offer online short courses as well as mastery courses with trainers' 1-year support. We also run a scholarship program and an internship program. We also facilitate charity activities where we are joined by community members as volunteers. Job matching program is something they can also look forward to, as well as e-commerce program. And to celebrate motherhood, we also have online bootcamp for kids. We also have the computer rent-to-own program for members who need assistance in acquiring a computer set. Aspire to be a strong-willed, independent woman.
Mas gusto kong maging productive at saka naniniwala ako sa continuous learning.
Inspire other women.
Everyone was uplifting each other. Everyone was trying to help each other. In this world, you have to be more kind. You have to be more helpful because everyone is fighting their own battles, and you have to understand, you have to empathize, and that is what FHMoms is doing with all the moms out there. Even if you're not a mom, you would feel welcome.
Empower each woman to be in their fullest potential.
And most importantly, Mommy MK and the team model humility and generosity. Talagang ito yung very evident, which impacted me the most. So it gave me the desire to share freely to others what I learned freely from the FHMoms community. And I've always loved the community, the motive of the community, that is to change the world one mom at a time. Good job, FHMoms.
Aspire, inspire, empower. Nothing is stronger than a community of women lifting each other up.
To be among women who have genuinely tried to help people. This is something that I feel passionately about, and then this is something that I saw in FHMoms.
God is good. Kasi parang naturo sa akin to FHMoms na pinakita sa akin na kahit nasa bahay ka, kahit nag-aalaga ka ng anak mo, it won't stop na dun ka lang. Yun lang yung pwede mong gawin.
Without this community, I'm not here in this situation. So FHMoms po yung nag-guide and nag-mold sa akin to be the best working at home mom I could ever be.
Ang pinakamalaking impact sa FHMoms sa akin is their quote, which is moving forward, giving back. That's the very essence of FHMoms eh.
That's what I like about this group kasi we encourage and inspire each other to keep dreaming, to chase our dreams. It's actually a big impact kasi if you are losing hope and wala ka ng gana and all, but because of this page, mapapasana all ka.
Dahil sa online job, natupad ko yung mga pangarap ko at ang pinakapangarap ko na lang ay matupad yung pangarap ng lahat ng mga mommies. Huwag tayong titigil na abutin lahat ng mga pangarap natin, masipagan pa natin at huwag tayong susuko. Kaya kung feeling nyo hindi kayo techie, feeling nyo hindi pasok ang edad nyo para dito sa online freelancing, huwag nyong iisipin yon kasi sobrang daming opportunities ang pwedeng ibigay sa inyo online. At nandito ang Filipino home-based moms para suportahan kayo. Para sa mga naghahanap ng online job at gusto ring matuto pagdating sa online business, you can join Filipino Home-Based Moms Facebook group. My name is MK Bertulfo, CEO and founder of Filipino Home-Based Moms, and our goal is to change lives one mom at a time.
Hello mga momshies! Good evening po sa inyong lahat. Ayan, kamusta kayo? Grabe, 2 nights din akong nawala but I'm so thankful kay Mami Ruth na naging proxy ko, no, na maging host for the past 2 nights na absent ako. So, I'm happy that I'm back at okay na rin ang internet ko. So, nakapag-work na ako ulit. Kamusta ba kayo? Na-miss niyo ba ako? Na-miss niyo yung mga online courses na pinapamigay ko. But definitely, bukod sa mga online courses na ipapamigay natin tonight, no, sobrang dami niyong matututunan dito sa guest natin. So, she is an FH tita. So, hindi pa siya mom. Hopefully, ma-promote siya soon. Pero dahil sa sobrang busy siya, I don't think so. Mukhang matagal-tagal pa ang pagiging mom niya, no? But, I'm excited na maipakilala siya sa inyo kasi siya naman din ang mother ng sarili niyang company, no? And nag-hire na din siya sa FHMoms ng virtual assistant niya. So later tatanong natin 'yon sa kanya, pero gusto kong mai-open sa inyo ang mundo ng startup. Kaya rin ako naka-startup t-shirt tayo today. Kasi nga, kasi naniniwala ako na tayong mga moms, no, though hindi pa tayo ganun ka-expose pagdating sa startup scene, no, pero ako sobrang exposed na ako. Kaya gusto ko na kayo naman yung mas matuto about entrepreneurship, especially pagdating sa tech world. So, yun na nga yung sinasabi nating startup na naikwento ko na rin sa inyo multiple times kung ano bang meron dito, no? So, sobrang exciting yan. So, kung gusto nyo maging katulad ni Dalmi sa startup na K-drama series, this is the perfect webinar for you. And, since first time natin to na mag-guest ng isang tech startup founder, I will make sure na mas maintindihan nyo yung mga terms, no? At sabihin nyo lang din sa comments kung meron kayong hindi naiintindihan kasi sobrang willing kami i-explain sa inyo, okay? So, tonight, we will have Melissa, also known as Mel Nava, the CEO and founder of One Export. Mel has always believed in the power of Filipino MSE products. Hence, after her successful career developing the export market for large corporations, she decided to found One Export. So, yung company name niya is One Export. And sobrang idol ko siya pagdating sa lahat ng bagay, no? From building her own startup business, no? Pagdating rin sa pakikipag-usap sa mga investors, kasi si FHMoms, though we were able to pitch sa mga investors before, hindi pa kami ganun ka-ready, no, as a company to accept investments for now. Pinag-uusapan rin namin yon kanina before tayo mag-live. Pero sobrang excited ako sa mga plans, yung mga ginagawa nila right now. And yun yung aalamin natin. Kasi first time ko rin maka-encounter ng startup na merong mga initiatives, no, pagdating sa, pag-export and all that. Kasi karamihan sa atin, especially mga online sellers, no, yung mga products na meron tayo, dito lang din natin sa Pilipinas in-offer. So, sobrang interesting nito para rin sa mga kahit hindi gusto maging startup but someone who wanted to start their business at makapag-export din sa ibang bansa. Maybe we can get more insights from her. So, sobrang excited na ako. Let us all welcome Mel Nava. Hi, Mel! Good evening.
Good evening.
Fresh na fresh. Saan ka ngayon?
Ngayon nasa office ako sa Makati. Office namin sa Makati.
Ayan, ang ganda ng lighting dyan sa office, ha? Kahit gabi na.
Ayan. So,
hello to all of the FH moms then watching.
yes. We have 300 viewers right now. So, make sure na i-share nyo pa to sa mga groups na kabilang kayo sa Facebook wall nyo. Or maybe you can tag your friends na alam nyong makakatulong sa kanila to. So, either gusto rin nilang maging startup founder or maybe an online seller, no? O gusto lang nila makakuha ng ideas on how they could earn while at home, no? Kasi pwede rin to gawin sa bahay. For sure, si Mel, most of the time, nasa bahay lang. Every kailan ka ba pumupunta sa office nyo?
Well, once in a while, actually, kung kailangan namin ng mas magandang internet, syempre, mas maganda sa office. Pero, well, mostly we work from home also, and then just make sure that, yun nga, so, nagagawa talagang exporting sa bahay. So, sobrang daming opportunities talaga for our mom. She's here.
Ayan. So, mamaya, i-share pa namin kung ano naman yung pwedeng magawa ng One Export sa mga aspiring mompreneurs natin. Okay? But before that, Mel, kwentuhan mo naman kami how you started One Export. But before that, maybe, ano ba yung mga naging inspiration mo? Nung bata ka ba, naisip mo na ba na magiging CEO ka ng sarili mong company? Ganun ba agad? Or ano ba yung naging background mo? Nakapag-work ka ba sa ibang mga companies?
Yan. So, basically, parang, well, nung bata ako, ever since naman, I always wanted to help people, no? So, parang hindi ako pupunta ng job na feeling ko walang meaning. Very millennial, di ba? Very millennial ang dating na parang kailangan may purpose, kailangan may meaning, may value add, ganyan, no? So, I always wanted to help people, right? But I didn't know where. So, thankfully, my first job was an exporting job, no? So, I was working for Lucky Me. I was selling noodles and biscuits to, so basically, I was exporting noodles and biscuits to the US, Europe, and parts of Asia. So, dun ko nakuha yung experience ko in terms of exporting, right? And then after that, parang syempre, after 3 years in corporate, medyo syempre napagod din, like all of our moms here, no? Sometimes nakakapagod magtrabaho in corporate. Nag-isip ako ng way na parang, okay, how can I scale this for people who want to export, di ba? Pero like nahihirapan, di ba? And meron tayong isang segment sa Philippines na tinatawag na micro, small, and medium enterprises. So maybe may mga momshies tayo dito na parang, kunwari, may mga small business at home, di ba? Normally, yun yung mga tawag na mga micro businesses. Kasi either kayo lang ng asawa nyo yung nagmamanage ng business, or ikaw lang, or yung family mo yung tumutulong, right? So we wanted to help mga micro businesses in particular to start exporting. But the problem was, and we realized this, the opportunities, hindi siya pareho kapag small business ka and kapag large company ka. So obviously, kapag larger company ka, mas may brand name ka, mas kilala ka, mas maganda packaging mo, mas mababa yung costs mo, hindi siya pareho versus if kung gusto mo magbenta na small business ka kasi syempre mas mataas ang costs mo, mas malaki ang 'di ba, ang run, maliit lang ang perang na pwede mong ikapital sa negosyo, 'di ba? So sabi namin, like, why don't we start a business na talagang makakatulong sa mga small and medium businesses natin, micro, small and medium businesses natin, mag-export, right? And so, doon namin una na-conceptualize yung One Export. Ideally, tech platform siya, di ba? Parang FHMoms, tech platform. Pero, hindi kami nagsimula na tech platform. Kasi syempre, nung nagsimula kami, wala naman kaming pambayad sa tech, di ba? Wala naman kaming pambayad sa developer. So, di ba, Mommy MK, parang nag-start kayo as a community sa Facebook, di ba? Bago kayo nag-start mag-build ng tech system, di ba? So, kami din, parang nung nag-start kami, kasi wala kaming tech experience or tech background, di ba? Ang sabi namin, okay, paano tayo makakuha ng pera na wala pang tech, di ba? Kasi yun yung mga uso sa startup dun sa startup na Soldalmi, di ba? So, nag-start kami na consulting company muna. So, parang sabi namin sa mga small businesses, sige, gagawin namin lahat ng pang-export nyo, bayaran nyo lang kami. Kahit hindi malaki, bayaran nyo lang kami, gagawin namin for you. So, basically, ganun kami nag-start para makakuha ng pera. As in, para siyang to the likes of consulting. So, para kaming service fee ka, para kaming runner. Kahit anong gusto mong pagawa, bayaran mo kami, gagawin namin. And then dun kami nagsimula. Basically, no, bago kami nag-build ng tech system. Eventually, nung lumalaki na yung business, marami nang kaming customers, 'di ba? Katulad nyo, Mommy MK, 'di ba? Marami ka ng mommies na gustong mag-avail ng services. Doon na kami nag-start mag-scale. Doon na kami nag-start na parang, sige, paano ba natin to, how can we make this better for us using tech? Kasi nga, syempre, we're in the age of technology na parang sayang naman kung hindi natin gagamitin. So, doon kami nag-start na parang mag-hire ng developer. Nung una, part-time pa yung developer namin. Nung una, parang i-contract lang namin yung developer para, kunwari, gumawa ng ang tinatawag nilang landing page or yung parang kung pumunta ka ng website, yung basic information mo, nandun lang, di ba? Ano yung pwede natin gawin, di ba? Hanggang sa, yun nga, pinag-ipunan namin yung negosyo, right? Para makapag-build ng tech platform. Wala pa kaming masyadong investment. In fact, wala kaming investment. Parang ginamit lang namin is yung investment na pinautang ng tatay ko sa akin and yung investment na galing sa revenues namin, 'di ba? Kasi araw-araw kami nag-ooperate. So basically, ganun siya nag-start, no? Hindi siya parang overnight na parang kasi syempre, 'di ba, dun sa startup na
ang bilis ng mga pangyayari.
Tama, 'di ba? Biglang, kunwari, malungkot ka, tapos biglang nagka-jowa siya, tapos biglang ang laki-laki na startup niya, nabenta niya.
Saka napagsabay niya yung pagjojowa. Yung lahat ng conflict niya sa pagjojowa. Tsaka pagbibusiness niya.
Hindi madali yun, di ba? So, syempre, kaya ng mga tao, dahil kunwari, meron kang K-drama na startup na 16 episodes na kala mo ganun kabilis, di ba? Hindi din, kasi parang, like ngayon, for example, this year, 4 years na akong full-time sa One Export. Pero, gets mo, ang dami ko talagang pinagdaanan. As in talagang, di ba, may mga
anong year kayo nag-start sa One Export? Kasi 4 years na rin ang FHMoms.
Well, 2016 kami nag-register, pero April 1, 2017 kami ako nag-full-time, no? April 1 kasi April Fool's Day. So, sabi ko, pag hindi ito mag-work, pwede kong sabihin April Fool's joke. Pero gets mo, 4 years na akong nagaganito. So, hindi na siya joke, di ba? Pero ang point here is, talaga, hindi siya madali. Kasi may mga araw, di ba, MK, and I'm sure alam mo to, no? May mga araw na feeling mong, oh my God, magsasara na ba ang kumpanya? Wala na ba kaming pera? May pera pa ba kaming parang pangsweldo?
Kinakabahan lahat no?
Oo, di ba? Na hindi siya ganun kadali ng startup na nag-pitch ka tapos biglang, ang ganda na bigla ng tech mo. Siyempre, i-develop mo yan, magtatanong ka sa mga customers mo, gagamitin niyo ba to? Di ba? Sino ba yung gagamit niyan? Maraming proseso involved na para magawa mo yung tech platform, di ba? And hindi siya perfect every time. Paminsan, magpapalit ka ng marketing strategy. Paminsan, magpapalit ka ng design ng website para mas maintindihan ng mga tao. So, hindi siya parang araw-araw.
Ang dami rin kasi na-enganyo, no, about the tech startup na idea nga na mag-create ng mobile app because of few tech giants kung tawagin. So parang everyone is excited to launch a mobile app, a platform for this and that, no? So may ganong hype, 'di ba? Pero gusto ko yung sinabi mo na paulit-ulit na hindi siya madali. Kasi hindi talaga siya madali.
True, alam mo, medyo glorified syempre ang tech startup sa Pilipinas kasi syempre, iilan lang naman ang tech startup sa Pilipinas, di ba? And iilan lang din, like, let me say this, iilan lang din ang female-led, no? Very few ang female-led na tech
bilang
startups. True, as in, mabibilang mo, wala pa siyang 50 siguro. Like, wala pa siguro siyang 40, ganon. Pero ang point kasi here is, parang, ang startup, hindi nga siya kasing dali ng dinipict nila sa K-drama na parang biglang may idea ka, biglang ang ganda, biglang lahat ng tao nag-download ng app. May mga times na parang mag-launch ka, wala pang magda-download ng website, walang gagamit ng website. Kailangan mo mag-marketing, kailangan mong tumawag ng mga tao, di ba?
Bago natin pag-usapan yung mga challenges, kasi for sure, yun din talaga yung tanong nila. So, since 4 years ka na din, no, dito sa One Export, and you were able to explain na rin ano yung ginagawa ng One Export. Siguro, yung tanong ko, no, nung nag-start kayo sa One Export, ano yung mga naging challenges nyo nung, let's say, first year? No, hindi muna
Okay.
yung ngayon. So, yung first year nyo, kasi kami sa FHMoms, yung mga challenges na experience namin siya, up to now pa rin naman meron. Pero ibang challenges na, level up na yung mga challenges. So, nung first year
True.
namin, iba yung mga na-encounter namin. So, we're assuming na lahat ng mga mommies and mga titas na nanonood, nasa stage pa lang sila na iniisip nila na pumasok sa tech industry, no? So, ano ba yung mga masya-share mo sa kanila na struggles sa pagsisimula?
Okay, so yeah, it's nice that you brought up that question, no, Mommy MK. So, well, yung first year namin was really figuring out the problem and the idea. So, if the idea that we were proposing, di ba, tama ba yung iniisip namin para dun sa problem na gusto namin i-solve, di ba? So, parang for example, ikaw, Mommy MK, ang gusto mo i-solve is, yun nga, parang empowering moms, di ba, to become more, to have their own time, but to also earn money. Di ba? Ang problem naman na sinosolve namin nung time na yun was, okay, how can we get micro, small, and medium enterprises to export, right? Marami tayong ideas, di ba? Ikaw, may idea, ang idea mo for this is, pwedeng, yun nga, webinars, and then job posts, di ba? But then, parang, other people have a different idea on how to solve that same problem, right? And so, the same for us, no? Parang people had a different idea to solve exporting, right? It could be join Alibaba. It could be join a trade show. Or yung trade show, yung parang kang may trade show sa Mega Mall na makamit ka ng buyers, di ba? So, all of us had different ideas on how to solve that one problem, right? And parang I think the first year was really dedicated into, okay, ito ba talaga yung tamang idea for this problem we want to solve? Kasi, syempre, parang ang ano din dito is, sometimes, you know, and this is, we're all human, we all could be wrong, right? So parang pwede naman na hindi tama yung iniisip natin, or baka tayo lang yung nag-iisip nun, pero hindi talaga yung nakasolve sa problem. So, nag-start, yung first year was really about validating the idea, checking if the idea is going to solve the problem, diba? And how can we add value, diba? Kasi at that point, syempre, and of course, if you're going to start a tech company now, hindi lang, expect mo na hindi lang ikaw yung nagsistart ng tech company na to. Diba? Expect mo rin na hindi ganun ka unique yung idea mo, na ikaw lang yung nagsisolve ng ganun way. Expect mo na lahat ng mga tao, baka in one way or another, naisip na nila yon, diba? So, you know, parang, and then, of course, the questions at the first year was, how can we differentiate ourselves from the possible competition, diba? So, hindi, like, marami siyang, and this is where, like, talagang, hindi siya ganun kadali sa K-drama, is, there's a lot of thought process that goes into starting a startup, right? And it involves late nights, sleepless nights. It involves studying your market. It involves studying like different mga business models. Yung mga ano na ba yung ginagawa sa abroad na hindi ginagawa dito, ginagawa na ba siya dito? Lahat yun medyo nakakabaliw isipin. Hindi siya parang we had it all figured out. Hindi siya yung parang dahil nakaisip ako ng app for my lola, tapos eto na yon, malaking bagay na siya, wala pang gumagawa nito. Expect mo na marami tao talagang gagawa ng idea. So that was the first year, no? The second year was, how can we scale, no? Kasi on our first year, we started off as a consulting company nga, na just running errands for our customers. Our second year was about how do we scale, no? Kasi hindi naman pwede na parang at that point, we had 6 paying customers and we were doing quite well. Actually, parang kung ako lang yung susweldo, parang feeling ko, mas mataas na yun sa sweldo ko sa corporate, no? But, syempre, it's not enough if you want to run a sustainable business, no? So, the second question was, how do you scale? So, paano ko ba, ang question ko nung 2018 is, paano ba namin to gagawing,
sustainable.
And then I think in 2018 also, nagkaroon kami ng identity crisis kasi nagbebenta kami ng exporting services pero hindi pa kami nakaka-export. So, yung time na yun, sabi namin, sige, kailangan nating mag-export. By hook or by crook, kailangan natin mag-export kung gusto natin mag-establish ng credibility. So, sa awa ng Diyos, nakapagbenta naman kami sa Qatar, end of year ng 2018. 2019 naman, the problem was, okay, we want to scale. Meron kaming onting tech noong 2018. 2019, parang sabi namin, okay, kung kailangan mo talaga kung gusto mo talaga ng investment, di ba? Hindi ka pwedeng manual. Kailangan may tech component ka. Kailangan lahat ng mga tao na gumagamit sa'yo, gumagamit sila ng platform mo. Hindi yung parang tinatawagan kang parang call center. So, ang question namin in 2019 is how do we scale? And that was sort of where we got to building our tech product and building, parang building the beta or ang tinatawag nila beta or yung parang very early version of your tech product, no? And then, 2020, as we all know, the pandemic hit, no? But since we had a tech, meron na kaming tech basis, no? Meron na kaming tech base nun. So, meron na kaming onting tech nun. Dahil nangyari yung pandemya, it worked to our advantage kasi we were online. So, because we were online, a lot of the buyers abroad started looking for mga people that were exporting products out of the Philippines kasi hindi na sila maka-travel di ba? Bawal ang travel noong 2020 and until now, no? So, people needed, but people still wanted to get their products out. And because we were a tech platform, it worked to our advantage and eventually we were able to scale. We were able to get more customers. We were able to double our sales pre-pandemic, no? So, I guess it all worked out, but of course, growing and scaling the business also has its challenges, no? Like one of them was, how do we manage working capital, diba? And then the problems that you have in a pandemic is nobody wants to invest, diba? Because people will try to will try to keep the money kasi syempre hindi mo alam kung ano yung mangyayari, diba? In the next few months, diba? So, how do we make our cash flow sustainable? Hindi lang pwedeng parang pasweldo tayo ng pasweldo ng mga tao, di ba? Parang kailangan, the people that work with you, talagang they will do different jobs, parang they had to be flexible, and then of course, because it was work from home, di ba? Parang, syempre, the coordination had to be twice as better, even if, you couldn't see each other. So those were other questions that we were posed. But again, like it really boils down to, parang how you're able to adapt every year, diba? How you're able to go through challenges every year. And of course, basically, this whole startup, ang sinasabi nga nila is, it's not a sprint, no? It's not, it's a marathon. Kasi hindi ka araw-araw na parang, okay, di ba? Hindi ka araw-araw na may customer ka, di ba? Pero kailangan mong palaging mag-isip hanggang sa maging okay ka. And the people that stick it out and make it through, normally, sila talaga yung
nagtutuloy-tuloy.
Nagtutuloy-tuloy, di ba? And parang, yun nga, dun sa sila yung binibili or sila yung ini-investa ng mga malalaking investor, di ba? So, yun.
Speaking of investors, no, Mel, kasi yung mga moms natin, nasa point pa lang din sila na nagsisimula pa lang din sila ng small business nila. And you mentioned earlier pala yung SMEs and MSMEs. Maybe we can explain to them ano yung difference din nun. Kasi for sure, marami yung hindi pa ganun ka familiar o kaya hindi nila sure kung SME ba sila or MSME.
Okay, ang MSME by definition, so MSME is micro, small, and ang M sa MSME is micro enterprise, ang small is small business, so small enterprise. Basically, the difference with micro enterprise is like mom and pop. So you're talking about like you and your husband managing the business, you and your husband managing the operations. Like you're talking about 1 to 5 people managing the business in general. A small business naman is about 10 people managing the business in general. Ibig sabihin, medyo malaki na yung demand mo. Then you start then you start to grow, no?
To grow,
But there
little
is
by
a
little, no?
difference. Yes, agree.
Parang kami
But
sa
there's a
FHMoms, we started na small business kasi we registered as sole prop then that time.
But there's a difference between being an MSME and being a tech startup. Okay, so there's a clear difference because syempre ang MSME, it's like you're talking about traditional businesses. This is probably a business that kunwari marami kang competitor, 'di ba? A tech startup is different in the sense that yun nga, there's a lot more thought process that goes into becoming a tech startup. Kasi yun nga, parang there's a difference when, like, kunwari, business ka tapos naging online ka. Diba? There's a difference naman if you're a tech startup. Kasi syempre, ang tech startup, you really are talking about the long haul eh. Diba? Parang, ibig sabihin, hindi sa'yo yung pera mo talaga for a really long time. Like, I tell you, MK, like, 4 years na ako nag-full time, hindi ko maramdaman na parang, wow, ang yaman ko. Diba? Hindi siya ganun eh. Para siyang marathon na parang talagang na long haul ang play. Kasi ang tech startup, isipin nyo parang mga Google, ganyan, di ba? Nag-start sila na sobrang mahirap sila. Di ba? Airbnb, wala silang pambayad ng credit card, di ba? Pero after 10 years, parang $1 billion yung valuation nila. Di ba? Ang MSME naman, it's like sustained growth, maganda yung margins mo, 'di ba? Pero parang hindi ganoon kalaki, hindi ganoon kalaki yung magiging long play mo. 'Di ba? So again, for all the momshies here, it's important to understand what kind of play are you willing to risk? What kind of play do you want to be, 'di ba? Parang do you want to be a micro, small, or medium enterprise? Kasi if you're an MSME, there's nothing wrong with that. As in, maganda yung margins mo, kung kikita ka agad.
Less yung risk, di ba? Unlike kapag mga startup din na nagsisimula ngayon.
Yes, ang tech startup is, mas malaki yung risk mo kasi sobrang, you're talking about a unique idea that maybe has not yet been done before, right? Or a very few people are doing, right? And it's like, you have to get a lot of users, diba? Or a lot of people to use the app. For example, ikaw, Mommy MK, para a lot of people to view your page, diba? For you to be called a tech startup. Kasi when you're talking about tech, people are expecting you to grow parang 10 times every year, diba?
Fast talaga kung fast, diba?
Pero ang MSME, parang sustained growth. So, it doesn't have to be big, maganda margins, pero yun nga, parang sa'yo yung pera, pero it's not like you're not going to get like $1 billion in 15 years. Parang ganun. Matagal siya.
So may mga kanya-kanya rin siyang pros and cons. No? Either magsimula ka as a small business owner or a startup company. No? So it's really up to you. But we have a question here from Mami S. Manabat. How much po ang capital to start up that business po? So siguro we can answer this muna dalawa. So isa is yung pagsisimula ng talagang startup company. And then the other one, I believe this is about export business, no, yung question ni Mami S. So, I wanted to answer both. But for FHMoms, before Mel answer this, no, we started FHMoms, nag-bootstrap kami. So, kung first time nyo marinig yung bootstrap, so ang ibig sabihin nun, hindi ako nag-shell out din ng kahit na anong money. So, what I did, kung ano yung kita ng FHMoms, yun yung napaikot ko. No? So, yun yung ginawa ko on my end. Or another meaning rin pala ng bootstrap is that kapag halimbawa, kumuha ka from family and friends, that's also considered as bootstrap. Tama ba,
Yes.
Mel? Nang hindi
Yes.
nagpapasok ng investment at the beginning.
Yes. Basically, parang sariling sikap yung pera.
Yes. That's the right term. Sariling sikap ito.
Sariling sikap. At saka medyo mahirap-hirap na sikap yung pera na yun. Oo. As Mommy MK knows and can attest to, no? So, yeah.
Tapos, after nung pagbo-bootstrap ko, so earning naman na siya. And then, what happened next? More on grants na lang yung nare-receive namin. So, wala pa kami sa point na nag-receive kami ng investment. But, for Mel, kamusta naman yung in terms of, finances? Ano yung, you mentioned earlier na you receive parang startup na fund din from your father. Ano pa?
So, yun, like, as mentioned nga by Mommy MK, of course, there are several ways to fund the business. One of them is, yun nga, paikutin mo yung pera na nakukuha nyo from the business. No? So, yun yung, First of all, that's the best way to earn money, no? Parang, and sustain a business. Money from your customers is the cheapest form of capital. Kasi ibig sabihin, you don't have to give up anything, no? Parang, and you can validate na ito talaga yung negosyo. So that's one, no? Revenues. The other way to raise money is through friends and family, no? So people who believe in you outright, okay, may extra money ka ba? Pwede ka bang mag-invest sa company ko? And normally, our friends and family, parang they will invest because they believe in you, no? Parang naniniwala sila sa kakayahan mo, kaya ka nila i-investan, di ba? So, yun, no? Yun nga, as mentioned, I got money from my dad. Pero paminsan, if wala kaming money to sustain the orders, kasi kunwari may export orders kami, humihiram talaga kami sa mga kaibigan in exchange for an interest, di ba? And then, yun nga, parang the reason why they will agree is because nga, they believe in my business, they know what I'm doing, they trust me, right? So that's another form of getting capital fast. There are other ways of getting capital. Of course, one of them is borrowing money. But of course, again, you really have to think twice. Kasi when you start to borrow money, you have to make sure kung mababayaran mo ba yun o hindi, di ba? So for example, mga Airbnb founders, and ako, personally, no, when I started One Export, I was running the company on my credit card. As in, dumating yung point na, oh my God, di ko na mabayaran credit card ko.
Sa akin pa na yung sariling account, yung personal na mga savings account. Lately lang kami nagkaroon ng corporate na bank account.
Ako nga, yung personal credit card ko yung pinanggamit ko para lang ma-fund ang negosyo. Kunwari, kailangan namin ng laptop, di ba? Nag-installment ako sa credit card ko hanggang kaya. So, I mean, that's one way, no? Of course, like you can borrow money, you can use your credit card, di ba? I mean, to share yung mga Airbnb founders, nung una nga, ang sabi nila, di ba, meron silang baseball card na holder. Lahat yun, puno ng credit card. Apply lang sila ng apply. Tapos kung ma-max out nila yung credit card, yun na. Pero I would not suggest that, no? Especially for FHMom, the mommies here that have families, no? Do not do that if you are not able to sustain, di ba? Kasi syempre, ito, like, malaki ang interest sa bangko, di ba? So that's another one. No? So you can borrow money. And then the other form is you get investment. But I'll be honest, getting investment is hard. One, because we're based in the Philippines. They don't think that the Philippines is a country that has strong policy regulations. I didn't want
nagsisimula pa lang eh, di ba? Parang nagsisimula pero slow-moving, ganyan.
I guess like ganito, like I'll give examples that I think have hurt the investment scene. So for example, I didn't want to have to get political about this, but like I'll show you, like Duterte and how he was mad at Maria Ressa because of the Rappler thing, no? I mean, I hope I'm not, but basically I'm just looking at this from a tech standpoint, no? Rappler is a tech news media outlet. Then Duterte got mad, had Rappler shut down because of SEC laws, no? So what happened with that is other investors are like, oh, ibig sabihin I can't invest in the Philippines, right? So stuff like that, even hindi siya sinasadya, it hurts the investment space because people will not invest directly in the Philippines, di ba? And as you know, Mommy MK, you've been on Final Pitch, no? The Filipino investors here are very traditional or conservative in their valuations. So, for example, like it's not like the States or in Singapore where you tell them this is the valuation, papaniwalaan ka ng investor kasi hindi sila long ago pa, like policy, our investment policy has not been very strong, di ba? The fact that we have yung SEC na 60-40 regulation is a really big parang hurdle for a lot of investors, no? Because either they have to put in so much money to get that, or iaamla ka, mga ganon, no? So parang, now if you really want investment, the way to do it is you have to be a fast growth and high in parang growing startup. So parang kailangan either sobra dami mong customers, sobrang galing mo, as in, nasa-solve mo yung problem ng customers mo in half the time that they used to solve. Ganun siya kagaling, no? Parang, ang problem naman doon is, yun nga, kung ganun kagaling, lahat ng mga tao, mag-i-invest sa'yo. Like, for example, I'll give an example na sobrang, startup I admire, Kumu, for example, di ba? They started in something like 2018, di ba? Na sobrang onting users. Nung una parang 30 users. Tapos biglang naging millions of users kasi parang biglang nag-partner sila with ABS-CBN. No? So, gets mo, parang kung gusto mo talaga ng investment in the form where you give up equity, the investors will ask you line per line, magkano yung kinikita mo? Gaano kadami yung customers mo? Ano yung margins na tinatago mo? Sustainable ka na ba? Profitable ka na ba? If you're not ready to answer those questions and kailangan sobrang maging mas matyaga ka in building your startup, 'di ba? And you know this, Mommy MK, 'di ba? Because you're raising money, correct?
At saka grabe rin yung experience once na bago ka pa lang sa startup industry din. Kasi, for example, yung mga binanggit kanina ni Mel, yung valuation, lahat ng mga terms na na-encounter ko, kailangan ko pang i-google, kailangan kong itanong sa mga fellow startup founders ko din. So, hindi siya madali, especially for us na Filipinos, dito sa Philippines, na hindi ganun ka na-introduce yung startup, no, pati sa school, sa mga bata, 'di ba? So nalaman ko siya nitong pagtanda ko lang. So imagine that. So since first time niya to marinig, no, sa mga moms natin diyan, maybe you can start introducing the startup scene na sa mga anak nyo, no, sa mga college nyong anak diyan. Tell them na kasi yung mga startup founders na friends ko, just like Mel, sila na rin yung nag-hire ng mga virtual assistants, for example. So sila even sa US, no, yung mga tech startup companies doon, usually sila yung nag-hire din talaga ng mga freelancers, no, for their company kasi syempre hindi rin sila makapag-hire agad-agad ng mga full-time employees nila. So maganda na ma-introduce nyo sa kanila kasi baka traditional din sila in terms of, hiring employees. Yun yung pag-uusapan natin next. Kasi yung iba parang takot, or hindi naman takot, but hindi ganun ka-open to hire a virtual assistant. I'm not sure, si Mami Marjorie ba yung first mo na virtual assistant hire?
Yeah, Mommy Marjorie is our first virtual assistant hire. But we've circled her around jobs. So we have introduced her to sales, marketing,
yes.
as well as like procurement, no. But yeah, like I think the naman here is like, yeah, because startups are fast growing. Of course, they're very much in need of mga virtual assistants and the people that can really support yung contact centers, no. Yeah, it's something that definitely startups, I think it's nice to engage in startups because of course they're fast growing, they're fast growth, they're high volume, 'di ba, in orders. And you're talking about, 'di ba, Mommy MK, when you started
especially sa e-commerce, no? Ay,
yeah.
grabe.
Yeah, but maybe starting 10
yes,
customers.
Grabe yan.
100, diba? So you
hindi
really
lang isang virtual
about,
assistant yung kakailanganin, no?
Exactly, no? But again, of course, like this is to encourage nga everybody to, you can be either an MSME, you can be a tech startup, but of course, it's also nice to support startups also because yun nga talaga, the potential for growth is really big, diba? Versus a traditional company that will require you to go to work every day, diba? But again, let me just say, it's also very demanding. Startups are very, very demanding. Maybe a little more demanding than traditional companies. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of demanding, no, I wanted to know rin kung paano nag-start yung pagbibuild mo ng team. Kasi for FHMoms, for 3 years ata, or mga 2 years lang naman, ako muna, and then sa pang third year, tsaka lang ako nagpasok ng hindi pa talagang employee or someone na nag-work sa FHMoms as a company, but trainers pa namin. So, naka-contractual pa sila na basis, no? But in your case, sa One Export, kailan ka nagsimulang mag-hire ng mga tutulong sa'yo? Or were you able to find a co-founder ba from the beginning?
So, nung start, honestly, the co-founder part naman, you cannot always get it right the first time. I mean, medyo naiingit ako sa mga tao na parang at the first time, sila na yung co-founder
Meron ng kasama, sana all.
Oo, di ba? Gets ko, girl. Gets mo, di ba? Hindi siya gano'n, no? I mean, and Mommy MK and I share the same experience kasi we initially started looking for co-founders in Startup Weekend, di ba? And you know, na parang hindi naman lahat ng mga tao in Startup Weekend will be your co-founders in the long run. But again, my first co-founders were from Startup Weekend. Unfortunately, hindi sila nag-full-time. So, hindi kami obviously, they didn't become co-founders talaga. But then, parang, I guess we started hiring people. We hired our first employee, and then after that, kasi we weren't sure if we could manage a big team. So when we weren't sure, ikaw, di ba, Mommy MK, you hired contractual or people who on shorter contracts. I think what we did was we hired interns because we wanted to also see how we could manage people, no? And so after hiring interns and parang okay naman yung experience nila, then that was when we started hiring full-time. But again, like it's not a lot with hiring has to do with trial and error.
Right.
There will be people that will start with you. They are great when they start with you, but they don't necessarily mean that they are great when they grow with you. So, syempre, some of them will have
Kumbaga, nag-iiba, no? Kapag, especially in my case, simula nung nagkaroon ng malaking change from, being a sole prop to a corporation, ang daming nabigla. So, agree ako dun sa sinabi mo na hindi rin talaga lahat makakasama mong mag-grow, no, sa company. And that's okay, no, para sa mga nakakaranas ng mga ganitong klaseng changes in terms of, managing your team. Sobrang okay lang yan. Tsaka, when it comes to, people management din talaga, kung ano mang merong kayong challenges with your team, okay lang yan kasi lahat ng mga startup companies talagang dumadaan sa ganyang challenges, right?
Yeah, and parang, I mean, at the end of the day, like, I'm still friends with a lot of my co-founders, my previous co-founders, diba? And, we all understand it, diba? The startup grind is hard. It's not easy. It's not like you get your money in 6 months, diba? Sometimes, like, I mean, we're running on our 4th year. Parang ngayon ko palang matatapatan yung sweldo ko ng corporate, diba? So, parang syempre, malaking bagay din yon na parang, it's not for everyone also, right? So it's something, it's just a reality we all have to accept.
Yan. Speaking of hiring virtual assistants, pati na building your team, I'm supposed to invite Mami Marjorie from FHMoms din na ngayon ay part na ng One Expert team pero nagkaroon siya ng allergy. So get well soon, Mami Marjorie, no? Pero nag-iwan siya ng message. Ayan. So, let's read it. This is from Mami Marjorie ng FHMoms and One Export na din. Kailan mo nag-start ng work si Mami Marjorie with you?
I think she started with us parang June or something. And then, so we started with us June and then...
June last year, right?
Yes. And then, there was a time where and then I think towards August or September, we started giving her other roles. So, yun.
So, ayan. Sabi ni Mami Marjorie dito, ayan, to the most enthusiastic and energetic mentor and boss that I work with, sobrang thank you for trusting me as your Usap kami nito ni Mel before kung paano ba, alala ko pa nun, chika-chika pa kami kung paano ba siya mag-hire ng first virtual assistant niya. So ako naman, todo guide din on how she can start hiring virtual assistants for her company. So sabi niya dito, alam kong sugal yung pagkuha mo sa akin noon since wala akong sariling internet connection at laptop. Pero sana di kita nabigo at nakatulong ako kahit papano sa One Expert. Tapos nakakatawa kasi nung nirefer ko si Mami Marjorie, cellphone lang yung gamit niya. Sabi ko, pag na-hire ka dito, gawan mo na lang ng paraan yung laptop mo kasi sabi ko, magaling naman. So, Nalaman rin ni Mel yun, di naman namin tinago. So sa totoo lang po, sa munting startup ninyo ako natuto ng napakaraming bagay. It is a company where ideas are welcome, tested and celebrated as they became milestones for the whole team. Naramdaman kong parte ako ng isang pamilyang inaalagaan ng isa't isa, walang seniority but respect is felt by everyone. I think isa rin to sa comment na nakuha ko, Mel, about sa seniority. Sa FHMoms kasi wala kaming though merong mga kanya-kanyang positions, pero unlike sa mga traditional companies na, oh, ito yung TL mo, ito yung supervisor mo, something like that. Sa amin, lahat naka first name basis lang din, no? Ganyan din ba yung inyo?
Yeah, actually, wala naman kaming masyadong issue. As in fact, like, ako sinasay ko lang, I'm Mel. Hindi naman ako like, diba? Parang kasi nga, like, lahat naman kami, we take on the same load, the same burden. And yun nga, parang, very challenging ang startup. So talaga nagtutulungan na lang talaga lahat.
Kaya ito tinuturo ko rin sa mga mommies sa free webinar ko on how to start working from home. Na meron ulit sa first Monday of February. Sinasabi ko sa kanila yung difference kapag mag-a-apply sila sa isang traditional na company versus dun sa mga startup. Kumbaga, ano ba kapag established na yung company versus dun sa mga nagsisimula pa lang. Sabi ko, usually kapag mga startup founders or CEO yung mag-hire sa kanila, madalas sobrang busy nun, so maraming ibibigay sa'yo na work at saka mas maintindihin kasi usually sila din yung mga first time na mag-hire ng employees nila. So sabi ko, maganda. Ako, I personally love working with startup founders pati ng mga CEOs before nung tumatanggap ako ng mga clients ko sa freelancing, no? So, sabi niya dito, ayan, unti-unti kong napatunayan ng sarili ko ulit bilang isang empleyado, solo parent at anak sa mga magulang ko. At sabi niya rin dito, last year nagkaroon sila ng mga family issues din. So, sobrang laking tulong daw ng One Export, no? Kulang ang mga salita para masabi ko ang taos-puso kong pasasalamat sa iyo, Miss Mel, at sa One Export family. Gano'n na ba kadami ang employees mo right now sa One Export, Mel?
Currently, we're 18. So, last year, actually, nag-usap tayo, we were about 15, ganon. But then, we are growing the team to 20. 20 kami by Feb 1. So, ganon sa
nice.
Yes din. Oo.
Ayan. So, thank you kay Mami Marge for sending a message to Mel. Ayan. Let's, I think this would be a nice question na din to ask. Ano naman yung nagustuhan mo kay Marjorie as your first virtual assistant na din? No? Syempre, sobrang proud kami kasi galing siya sa FHMoms. So, maybe you can let us know ano yung nagustuhan mo kay Mami Marge na to the point na nag-ilang buwan na din siya sa'yo, no? And how was the experience?
Okay naman, like, actually, because nga of this, we were able to refer, like, di ba, sabi ko nga sa'yo, pati yung boyfriend ko, nagbigay ako ng sa FHMoms, kasi talagang, parang, and it's something that I really believe in. I also believe, mostly, MK, of your vision, no, to really help moms. And so it's really something that we believe in. Generally we're happy naman. Of course, it's a different setup for us, no? Kasi we're normally used to, people coming in to work every day. And so, it's a nice experience also. It's a pretty nice experience. But really, actually, MK, like I just want to commend you, parang of the thing, the community that you have built really over the past years. I mean, I'm sure this was not hard. This was not easy. I mean, if I'm saying exporting is hard, I'm sure what you're doing to make content every day, sinasabi ko nga sa'yo, hindi ko alam kung paano mo ginagawa kasi ako mismo hindi ko kayang gawin, girl. So, I'm so happy that you're doing this. Sana marami ka pang matulungan, and definitely if there's a way that we can really help you, we will. So, yeah.
Thank you so much, Mel. Actually, sobrang laking bagay at tuwan-tuwa na ako na na-experience mo mag-hire ng virtual assistant kasi pinag-uusapan nga natin before kung paano mo mahahandle, especially your emails, di ba? Yun yung parang main na concern mo. And for me, isa lang yun sa mga task na pwede mong ipagawa sa isang virtual assistant, and I'm so happy na nadala mo siya sa sales, sa procurement at kung saan-saan pa yata kasi napagsulat mo rin ng blog. So, I'm so happy na na-maximize mo yung pag-hire ng virtual assistant. Ayan. So, we're hoping na makapag-encourage pa kami ng mga startup founders like you to hire from us. So, let's answer more questions here. Ayan. This one naman is for the perspective naman ng mga nag-export. So, do you have any idea how much, siguro maybe you can refer someone from your pool of exporters ba yung tawag? Na makapag-guest din sa FHMom so that we can answer this kind of questions. But do you have any idea how much naman yung initial capital if meron na silang existing business and then they wanted, or pwede ba silang matulungan ng one export to do that? I think that
again, the initial capital of exporting depends on what you are exporting. So, I'll be honest, it's easy to start a food business, but it is hard and expensive to export food. Let me just put it out there, no? Kasi syempre, if you export food, you have to check if your ingredients are okay. So, just make sure that wala kang gagamiting medyo complicated na ingredients, ganyan, no? Food coloring is something that, you know, you look into, right? But we can definitely, for FHMoms na gustong mag-export, we can definitely give a free consultation.
Kung pwede bang i-export yung food business na meron sila. Kasi I don't think madidiscuss natin yan ngayon, no? Especially kung may mga ganyan palang restrictions. Yeah, I think maganda na makapag book or makapag-check din kayo with one export.
Sa registration, lagay nyo lang na FHMoms kayo. Okay lang yun. So, bibigyan na kayo namin yung free consultation. But basically, if you're exporting non-food, it's easier because mas onti yung regulations. So, yeah, I guess the capital starts with you have to be a registered business, no? So, whatever the business documents you need have to be complied with. Normally, that will cost you something like 10,000 pesos if you're really small. And then normally what happens is you could sell, right? You could export, you could sell, you could bring the product to your family abroad. That's a form of exporting, and they can sell it for you. But basically, I guess you can start there, no? Again, for FHMoms, we will give like free consultation. Normally, we charge for that for like big companies, but we will give it for FHMoms. That way, we can outright map the products for you. But I guess if you have a product and you have the right business registrations, madali na lang yung ibang documentation. Yeah.
Sige, ako na yung bahala mag-endorse sa kanila sa One Export. But we would like to encourage siguro yung mga meron ng existing businesses, yung mga wala pa, research na lang muna tayo. I like this question, no? Related din dun sa capital na question kanina. But Mami Lilian Neil would like to know, ano ba yung magandang business na pang-exporting? You mentioned about food and non-food businesses earlier. Pero based sa experience nyo or sa mga pool ng mga MSMEs nyo and SMEs, ano usually yung kinabibilangan nila? Is it food or non-food?
Nag-start kasi kami mostly food, no? Pero I'll say this, I think if you want to know what kind of business is nice to export, you should look into what are the trends na talagang hinahanap ng mga tao. So for example, there is a big demand for ube. Kasi, di ba, ang Filipinos dito nag-ube cheese pandesal nung pandemya. So biglang lahat ng tao biglang gusto mag-ube, di ba? Ano pa ba? Like for example, because a lot of people are staying at home in the pandemic, mga home accessories, home items, mabenta yan in the pandemic. So, I guess you can look into those trends kasi those trends hold eh. Lahat ng mga tao will avail of those trends and will buy from you. So, yon.
We have a question here, no, about yung maybe we can explain anong difference ng exporting versus importing. Ayan.
Okay. Ang exporting is goods from the Philippines or wherever you're from, and then it goes out of the country. Importing naman is bringing the products to the country. So,
Yeah.
meaning, kunwari, maraming mga tao sa Lazada na, di ba, yung mga Lazada na
Yung mga Korean goods, dadalhin dito.
Dadalhin dito, binibenta, ganyan. So, yun naman yung difference.
Nice. So, yan. So, maganda no na makapag-export tayo para at least yung mga local products natin, mailabas natin siya sa ibang bansa rin. Yan. Ayan. So, we have another question here na pwede pa nating sagutin. Okay. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Make sure to check then One Export's Facebook page, no, para sa mga exporting updates na rin and if there's any opportunities for you. So, let's see here. Mami Leia, what major problems have you encountered in exporting, especially in relation to Bureau of Customs and requirements of client companies abroad? How did you handle it? Do you export native products?
Yes, we export native products. So yes, that's yes. How do we handle problems in Bureau of Customs and companies abroad? So what we make sure is we comply with all of the regulations para we don't have problems with the Bureau of Customs. So far, never naman kami nagka-problems with the BOC kasi nga we pay our taxes, everything is above board. All the invoices are reflective of the prices here, so hindi naman kami nag-undercut ng presyo. And you know, parang by the way, we follow when we started nga, I told you Mommy MK, we started as a consulting company in 2017. We made the export guidebook for the Philippines, which you can search, no? It's yung Philippine Export Guidebook 2018. You can search that and download that if you want to know how to start exporting. So basically, sinunod lang namin lahat ng mga guidelines, 'di ba? Kaya wala kaming nagiging problem. Now, how do we handle problems of companies or clients abroad, no? Normally, nagkaka-problem kami with clients when it comes to kunwari shipping delays. Pero hindi na kasi namin siya control. So, ang ginagawa talaga namin is, what we would do is we would keep a good relationship with our clients abroad so we are able to manage the problems. So, yun.
Nice. And so, hope, Mami Lea, we were able to answer your questions. Ayan. Next naman here, ang dami nagtatanong about sa capital, but this one is an interesting question that was raised. How to be consistent in this field? Kasi nga po, syempre, madami naman po tayong mga experience na makapanghihina sa atin, lalo na po sa bago pa lang na sumubok, no? Dahil na rin sa mga doubts. Yan. Very common, especially for female business owners at saka startup founders, no, na mag-doubt. Parang si Dalmi lang din sa startup na K-drama. Ang daming problema ni girl. Pero in reality, ganun rin naman, no. What's nice about being a female startup founder, normal tayong masisipag. So parang hindi ganun kadali for us na parang sumuko. Pero, Mel, how do you make sure na nagiging consistent ka with One Export?
I guess, well, ganito, like, of course, all respect to the mom she's here. I just want to say, of course, di pa ako mom, she kaya tita
Mel.
FH tita ako, hindi FH mom, no? But, you know, it's particularly hard to run a family, to support a family and run a business at the same time, right? So that's what, let's be honest, that's why I'm still a tita. I'm not a mom, no? But again, like, I feel like one of the reasons is, you know, you really have to have a strong support system. So my family is very, very supportive of my startup. You know, when I left my corporate job, I remember parang medyo nag-worry pa ako to tell my dad, no, na parang, sorry dad, aalis na ako ng trabaho ko kasi ayoko na, no. So I think I'm happy that I do have a strong support system. It's not just your family, your partner has to be very supportive also, you know, and of course your team has to believe in it and support you, know. there are a lot of other things that I do as an individual to stay sane and keep my mental health in check, no? So yun nga, parang I meditate, I read, 'di ba? I want to learn more, right? I ask people, so I talk to people regularly and ask them about how do they do this, how can I overcome this, 'di ba? And yun nga, I read because I read mostly mga startups then that went through tough times, 'di ba? Because I want to learn from them para if this happens to me, I know what to do. So a lot of it really is really dedication, 'di ba, into doing this, no, in doing this. But also like support system is definitely one, but also like yun nga, just making sure that you are able to have time for yourself, make sure that you are in check with, you can ask your friends and all of that. It's really hard, but it's worth it. I mean, I'll say this, parang there were days back in 2018, which was after the first year of going full time. Akala ko ilang beses magsasara na kami, wala akong pasweldo, ganyan, di ba? Or, oh my God, we're 3 months away, baka magsara na kami. Pero gagawa ka at gagawa talaga ng paraan eh. Parang, I think there also has to be a strong resolve and kailangan parang sobrang galing ng purpose mo or sobrang naiintindihan mo bakit mo to ginagawa para on the hard days that, of course, there are great days and they make us feel great. But there are also hard days where it's like, wow, parang baka hindi ko na to gawin, no? So all of these things really take into play. Vision, purpose, support system, and then really making sure that everybody's okay. So yeah.
Ayan, I love it. So, meron ditong mga nag-explain pa what is a tech startup. Ayan, Mami Rosalie, thank you so much. Let's see here. Ito, this is an interesting question for a startup founder na rin or a company. And then, pati na rin sa mga business owners dyan. Sabi ni Mami Mylene, paano nyo po na-maintain yung mga clients na meron kayo? No? Same with the freelancing industry, ganun din. Parang we wanted to make sure na naaalagaan natin yung mga clients, customers, or users ng platform natin, no, or services. So, meron ka bang mga effective na strategies that you could share to keep your clients, no, sa startup nyo?
I think for one is you really have to have a strong relationship with your clients. So talagang, parang kamustahin mo sila, di ba? Know them on a personal level. Make sure that, kunwari may mga concerns sila na address mo, make sure na masaya talaga sila, right? That way, you're really able to maintain. Kasi happy clients will refer. So I think number one is really being able to establish a strong relationship with your clients. That's number one. Kasi even if you screw up, di ba? If you have a strong relationship, parang people will still trust you, right? But if you don't have that relationship, talagang if you screw up, iiwan ka na nila. So I think that's my pinaka advice kasi that's also what we do eh. Like personally, kapag hindi na happy yung customer, ako mismo yung tumatawag sa kanila.
No, I like that. Actually, ako, based on my experience, kapag halimbawa nagkakaroon ng problema with the client or with the customer, kasi normal naman din talaga. Especially kung small team pa lang kayo, parang may maliit ka lang na marketing team, may maliit ka lang na customer service, ganyan. Pwede naman ang iakyat din sa'yo. Usually, mas na-appreciate din ng mga ng mga clients, no, na mismong ikaw yung nag-reach out sa kanila to tell them that you're sincere, no, na mag-sorry din about the mishap. Pero one question here na gusto ko rin, and I think this will be our last question for tonight from the comments. Thank you sa lahat na nag-comment ng kanilang mga questions. You will be receiving 3 skill success courses from FHMoms. And again, sa mga gusto ring mag-export, something like that. We will post, no, sa social media accounts natin how you can book a one-on-one consultation with one export. From Mami Elena here, gaano po katagal ang ROI kapag nag-start ng export company? And curious lang po, ano yung naging inspiration niyo to start this kind of business knowing na mahirap po simulan?
Okay, so
Parang
ROI,
wala namang nakaka-predict kung mahirap ba. Parang lahat
oo.
mahirap.
Ito, ang ROI kasi medyo mahirap siya i-compute. So again, like if you have like a small business, normally you have margins, nakukuha mo naman siya agad eh. Basta make sure kapag may small business ka, don't lose money on the very start, no? Kasi pag you start, you're okay with losing money, baka you cannot sustain long term. So ROI wise, I can't really compute that kasi of course that will be on the basis na alam ko yung margins ng small business. But I don't know eh. So I feel like basta paikutin mo lang na yung paikutin yung pera hanggang sa masaya ka na, di ba? And you can keep the money. How do we start this kind of business and paano, knowing na mahirap simulan? I guess parang there has to be a strong resolve nga na parang conviction na, okay, gagawin ko to kasi gusto kong tumulong. Right? And so that was sort of how I started it. That was how you started it, MK, no? So talagang, di ba, parang kahit mahirap, as you know, di ba, but we're still doing this because, yun nga, at the end, back of our heads, parang may mga tao tayong maapektuhan if we just stop operating. Like you, Mommy, MK, parang if you stop FHMoms in a split second, maraming mga mommies na, you know, nag-aabang ng mga courses and all of that, di ba? And kami rin, parang if I stopped one export, di ba? Marami kami yung mga SMEs na hindi matutulungan mag-export. So, I mean, you know, just have that purpose and drive and vision. And of course, it will really help if your partner is supportive. It will help if your family is supportive. And talagang it'll make all the difference eh. So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mel, for that. So maybe we can give them na one advice when it comes to, starting their own startup, pati na rin exporting business, no? And then later on, we wanted then to answer this one, which is I want you to promote again or explain to them how one export works kasi yung iba kakanood pa lang. So let's invite them na rin sa mga social media channels or pages ng One Export so that maaral pa nila how it works, no?
Awesome. Well, ganito, so if there's one advice I will say for people that are starting a business or has a business or wants to export, focus on your customers, right? That should be your North Star. That should be your guiding star, right? If you want to make a product that will sell, if you want to make a product that will start to export successfully, it has to be a product that your customers like, right? So do not bother making products your customers don't like, your customers do not want to engage in, diba? This also goes if you want to start a tech startup. You have to know your customers, what they want, and you cannot build a tech company on the basis of stuff that they will not use. So focus on your customer. That's the real, that's the advice that has been very helpful for me, no? There were times na hindi kami ini-investan, sinasabi sa amin, hindi kami tatagal. Pero ang nagsasabi nun, kunwari, investor, ang nagsasabi nun, hindi naman bumibili sa amin, di ba? So parang for me naman, parang hindi ko naman sila customer eh. So hindi ko sila pinapansin. Pero since naka-focus ako sa customer, dun talaga kami lumaki, no? So I guess that's really where our website is oneexport.net. You can, if you want to schedule a one-on-one session, just register as a supplier. So just register as a supplier on our, I think kasi taas siya na register. Our Facebook pages are One Export and Instagram, it's One Export also. As in, One Export as in number one export. So yan yung registration namin for a supplier. If you want to follow our pages, you can message us there as well and we can absolutely help you with anything.
Ayan. So, yung Facebook page nila is here. Baka kung saan kayo mapunta. Ayan. So, this is One Export's Facebook page. And make sure to follow them. There. So, thank you. Thank you so much. May mga iba pang questions. But we will reserve this for the next Startup Founders na iimbitahan namin, no, sa mga susunod na buwan. Like this question, maybe ako na lang yung magsasagot nito later. I can answer this naman. So, again, thank you so much sa lahat ng mga tumutok tonight. I know marami pa kayong questions for Mel, but of course, may work din si Mel. So again, Mel, thank you so much
Thank you,
thank you sa pag-support mo sa FH Moms, no, from the beginning, and then sa akin din, especially bago lang din ako sa startup world. So thank you so much for inspiring me to grow then this big. So I'm happy na
Yes.
na-meet kita, ayan, sa startup world.
O push talaga, girl. Kaya natin to. Kaya talaga. Kahit mahirap siya. Kahit nakakaloka siya.
Totoo. Ayan. Thank you. Siguro yung pinaka last na siguro, maybe you could recommend maybe a book or a movie aside from startup na K-drama. Do you have any recommendations para matuloy-tuloy nila yung pag-aaral nila about it?
I guess when you're starting a startup and you want to learn, I would suggest also going to a YouTube video called How to Start a Startup by Y Combinator. Y Combinator is the most popular accelerator in the world. Basically, sila yung nag-train kay Airbnb to be a startup.
Wow.
Right? Ganon. So you can check How to Start a Startup. They have like a series of like how to build it, how to build your first team. That was those are some of the resources I used. The other thing would be if you want to study about doing a tech startup, I would suggest Lean Startup by Eric Rice. You can also do parang so 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel. Those are like basic startup stuff where they really teach you how to focus on the startup, how to focus on your customers, what are the problems that you need to solve first as starting. And then maybe as you go along, one of my favorite books is called The Hard Thing About Hard Things. And the obstacle is the way. No? Kasi the obstacle is the way is like basically kahit maraming nangyayari sa mundo mo, you have to focus on what is important and be more present, 'di ba? Para you don't be carried away with too much emotion so that you still get to do the work that you do. So those are some of the books that have really helped me. Sorry, reader talaga ako, mahilig ako magbasa. So, yeah.
Ako naman hindi. Hindi pa ako nakakapagbasa ng any startup na book. More on articles naman yung binabasa
Pero girl, ang galing-galing
Pero
mo,
book,
girl. Girl,
ang ginagawa ko,
galing-galing mo.
nilalasing ko yung mga startup friends ko. Para sabihin nila lahat. I-summarize nila sa akin lahat ng mga nabasa nila. But thank you again, Mela, sa pag-guest mo dito sa FH Moms. Next time ulit, invite ka namin.
Nag-enjoy ako. And anytime, like FH Moms, like if you have questions, just like us on our Facebook page and message us. We will be absolutely accommodating to all of your exporting and even some startup concerns. Yeah.
Ayan. Thank you so much, Mel.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Alright. So, I hope nag-enjoy kayo doon. Hindi pa tapos kasi magbibigay pa ako ng mga free courses dahil na-miss ko mamigay ng free courses. Nanalo na si Mami S, Mami Takmo, Mami Mary, Mami Lianel, Luzdar, Leia, Jomeline, Maylin, Elena, and Jessie for asking questions lang sa comment section. But now, magpapa-guessing game ako kasi sobrang na-miss ko to gawin. Yan. Kamusta na ba kayo mga momshies? Also pala, ayan, sana na-inspire din ng session nito yung mga FH tita just like Mel. Kasi ako naman, though sobrang happy and proud ako to be a mom, pero parang feeling ko mas makakapag-focus din talaga kayo sa any business na gagawin nyo, especially if it's a startup business kung single pa lang kayo. No? Kumbaga, mas matututukan nyo. Kumbaga, yan na yung first baby nyo eh. And like, for moms like me, no, like us na mga mom na CEOs and founders, medyo mahirap talaga mag-start ng isang malaking company habang nag-aalaga ng family. Kaya pag nakaka-encounter ako ng mga startup founders, no, na mom din, di ko talaga ma-imagine kasi ako, though kinakaya ko naman siya, pero kung hindi siguro supportive yung husband ko, I don't think nakakayanin ko din talaga. So, sabi nga ni Mel, no, sobrang demanding ng pagsisimula ng isang startup company. No, hindi katulad ng small business na konting customers lang, carry na, but with tech startup, Sobrang dami, thousands, millions, no, yung pwedeng maging reach. So yes, sobrang interesting ng topic na to, and isa pa lang yan, no, si Mel, mas marami pa kaming i-invite na mga startup founders. Yung next na mga plano kong i-invite para may idea kayo is isang mommy din, no, si Jox ng Olivia na app. So Olivia app is a financial app para makatulong sa mga freelancers and then entrepreneurs din, no, na makita nila yung labas ng pera, ganyan. So that is an interesting app, no, na magiging available din to everyone. I'm not sure lang kung out na, pero ayan. So invite din natin siya. And then FH Tita ulit, which is si Abigail naman or Abby ng Grocer Genie. But before that, Style Genie yung startup niya. And marami na rin siyang experiences pagdating sa pagbibuild ng startup. And nakapag-hire siya ng interns and virtual assistants niya from us. Actually, lahat ng mga ini-invite ko ng mga female startup founders, lahat sila nag-hire from FHMoms. That's why na-notice nyo kanina, may mga questions din tayo about hiring a virtual assistant because no, hindi ko naman kayo gustong matuto lang ng tungkol sa exporting, ng tungkol sa pag start ng isang startup company, no? I wanted you to understand kung ano rin yung perspective ng mga employers. So, katulad niya na-mention ni Mel kanina, gano'n siya ka-happy about hiring a virtual assistant. Though, hindi siya ganun ka-open at first because nga lahat ng mga workers niya sa One Export ay nakasama niya sa office ng face-to-face, no? Pero eventually, na-convince din siya na, uy, okay pala mag-hire ng virtual assistant, no? Ito yung mga pwede kong ipasa. So, nakakatuwa, no? So, challenge din siya for us freelancers na ma-encourage din yung ibang mga startup kasi sobrang dami ng startup founders, sobrang dami ng mga startup companies na nagsusulputan, feeling ko maya't maya meron. So, para rin talaga siyang mga babies na bigla-bigla na lang umuusbong. So, what I'm saying is that, kasi ako, sa mga startup friends ko, talagang in-encourage ko sila na, uy, mag-hire naman kayo from FHMoms. So, kung kayo, meron kayong may encounter, kasi merong group for startup founders, that's Startup PH, tapos meron ding Startup PH Jobs. So, meaning to say, sa Startup PH Jobs, pwede kayo dong mag-join at mag-check ng mga job postings from these startups. Okay? So, binibigyan ko na kayo ng tips kasi may nakita ko kanina asking kung paano ba makakakuha ng clients, no? Especially if you're looking for a startup na client, no? Sa mga groups kung saan nakatambay yung mga startups kayo pumunta. So, ako, grabe. Sa startup world pa naman, sobrang daming mga, let's say, networking events. Networking meaning magmi-meet yung mga founders to founders, no? So, ganun usually yung mga events, no? Mag-share yung mga founders and then makikinig yung ibang mga founders, no? So, punta kayo sa ganun kasi usually, doon din kayo makakakuha ng work. So, attend kayo ng mga live sessions ng mga startup na events, ganyan, para mas maintindihan nyo lang how it works, para alam nyo rin kung paano matutulungan yung mga startup founders. So, as freelancers, what we wanted is to help the startup founders, entrepreneurs, na matulungan sila sa business nila, na mas mapadali yung mga tasks na ginagawa nila. Usually kasi overwhelmed yung mga startup founders sa mga ginagawa nila sa business. So, it's our duty na matulungan sila. So, it's important rin na alam natin saan sila hirap, no? Kanina na pag-usapan with Mel, yung pagdating sa, ayan nga, sa mga customers din nila, yung pag-handle ng clients, pagsagot ng mga email inquiries, and then yung pag-grow din ng team, no? So, ang daming interesting pa na topics na gusto kong ilatag sa inyo, especially for February, no? May mga webinars pa rin tayo about freelancing and entrepreneurship, and may mga activities din tayo niyan for Love Month. But aside from that, I also wanted to announce rin, bago ako magpa-guessing game, na we recently launched our short courses. So, sobrang laking move nito for us sa FHMoms team. Pero ilang taon ilang taon namin pinagplanuhan yung tungkol sa short courses kasi for the longest time, we've been doing mastery courses na merong trainer support, but this time, meron kaming nilabas, which is yung short courses nga, na walang trainer support, so more on pre-recorded videos ito. Very similar with what Udemy is doing na. So we wanted to check if makakatulong rin ba sa inyo yung mga short courses ng FHMoms kasi ito yung mas scalable. So when we say scalable, mas malawak yung magiging reach or mas maraming customers unlike sa may mga trainers kami, pero very limited lang yung pwedeng maging students per class. So very important for all the startup companies na maging scalable. So, paulit-ulit yung naririnig yung scalable, pati sustainable na term kanina with Mel. So, ganon ka-critical yung goal na maging sustainable and scalable yung isang startup business, no? So, yan. I hope marami kayong natutunan kanina with Mel. Next time, tuturuan ko kayo sa webinar natin about business ng mga terms. Kasi parang feeling ko nalulunod kayo. Parang nagta-throwback ako dun sa mga times na ako naman yung nakikinig sa mga startup founders na naririnig kong mag-talk. Kasi si Mel, sobrang galing pa mag-explain. I mean, yung mga provide na sagot ni Mel, pati na rin yung mga explanations niya, sobrang dali pang maintindihan yun. Pero once na na-involve kayo with a company, for example, nag-join na kayo sa isang startup company, no? Kumbaga yung client nyo is a startup founder. Tapos may mga engagement or activities siya sa tech startup world. Ay, Diyos ko. No choice kayo kung di kailangan yung aralin, no? Yung pagdating dito sa tech startup. And I'm so happy na yung startup na K-drama, nabigyan tayong lahat, especially dito sa Philippines, ng chance na matutunan yung tungkol sa startup, no? Startup world. So, sobrang happy ako kasi before, kapag sinishare ko sa FHMoms o kaya sa mga friends ko na andito ako o kaya ito yung gusto kong maging, kumbaga maging path ng FHMoms, maging isang edtech. So, ed is education. So, edtech platform, no, with job matching na din. So, parang sila, kaya mo ba yan? No? So, ako, with the help ni Mel, pati na ng mga startup friends ko, pati na accelerator program. So, accelerator is sa Korean na drama series na startup, yun yung Sandbox. So, si FHMoms, marami kaming similar with Sandbox na sinalihan na makatulong para mag-grow din si FHMoms ng mas malaki pa. That's why na-enjoy nyo lahat ng to. Free webinars, mga courses natin, and all that activities. It's because yung FHMoms, meron siyang mga big minds na nasa likod yung admin team natin, no? Kaya I'm so happy na sobrang interested din kayo to know more about the startup world kasi yun nga, ang laking-laking kumbaga future ng startup scene dito sa Philippines. Kumbaga, nagsisimula pa lang siya right now. So, sana kayo na napakinggan nyo to or natutunan nyo about it, sana i-share nyo rin sa mga anak nyo, especially sa mga anak nyo na, if kakagraduate pa lang nila, definitely dapat maging open sila to the idea na makapag-work sa mga startup companies din. Kasi, baka kasi may idea sila na, kapag nag-work ako or nagsimula akong mag-apply, gusto ko yung mga companies na malalaki. No? Yung mga startup companies, usually sila yung mabilis din lumaki. No? So, yun lang naman. So, mag-game na tayo. Ang dami nating chika. And thank you so much for watching. Yes. Sobrang galing ni Mel. Thank you, Mami Filipina. Ayan. So, let's see. So, pag may mga questions kayo about startup, make sure na i-message nyo lang ako. Kasi meron din akong kino-coach sa one-on-one consultation na nag-a-apply siya sa mga accelerator programs na in-applyan rin or nakapasok si FHMoms. So, ang binibuild naman niya na platform is more of a tech platform para i-match yung mga students to online teachers or tutors. Yun naman yung pinepeg niya. So, ayan. Sobrang interesting, right? Yan. So, make sure to join Startup PH and then Startup PH Jobs. Nandun yung mga jobs wherein pwede kayo makapag-work sa mga startup founders like One Export. Okay? Nice. Okay, guessing game na tayo before we end. Sana kahit may agency na nag-hire kahit newbie lang. Yeah, definitely. Meron namang mga agencies na nag-hire sa mga newbies, no? Even yung mga agency owners, usually, yan. Hire sila niya ng newbies. Sobrang nag-enjoy ako dito sa FHMoms. Thank you. Nagiging habit ko na tuloy every night. Thank you so much po. Sobrang nakaka-amaze, Mommy MK, how you juggle everything being a mom. Hindi ko na alam. Feeling ko dahil 4 years ko na siyang ginagawa, naging madali na siya for me. Kumbaga, pag may mga struggles or may mga challenges, sobrang minamani ko na lang siya. So before, sobrang sensitive ko pa whenever may encounter akong problem. Hanggang sa dumating yung point, hindi ko na napansin. So, siguro nagmamature din as a person, as a founder, as a worker. Kasi, pinagsabay ko kasi yung pagiging freelancer at saka yung founder. So, meron akong challenges sa client ko, meron akong challenges sa FHMoms as a company. Tapos, may mga challenges din ako as a mom, kasi first time mom din ako with my boy, no? Na 2 years old lang that time, tas ngayon 6 years old na. So, kinalakihan niya na yung mga pinaggagawa ko sa buhay, kinasanayan niya na. And then, yung family ko din, no, both sides sa family ko, first family ko, and then yung side naman ng family ni Jim, parehong very open to what's happening with me right now, na parang lahat tungkol sa online, lahat tungkol sa tech. So, siguro, importante yon na yung mga tao na nasa paligid mo, naiintindihan ka. Marami kasi akong na-encounter na yung mga partners nila, hindi ganun ka-open with the idea na mag-work from home sila o di kaya mag-start ng online business kasi ganito ganyan. So, very important na bago ka mag-launch ng isang business, no? I-explain mo na rin muna sa kanila ano ba yung magiging setup sa online job mo, ano ba yung magiging setup sa online business mo, kasi posibleng uminda talaga sila at first, no? Especially kung madalas kang nakatutok sa laptop or desktop mo. Kasi baka iniisip nila wala kang ginagawa, pero sa totoo lang, sobrang dami mong ginagawa. So, yeah, I hope mas maging open yung mga tao sa paligid natin, no? Kasi sobrang swerte ko na lang siguro na supportive both sides ng mga family namin, no? Ayan. Kung paano mag-start, hirap din gawin. If this is about online business or starting up a startup, no? Ako, hindi ko kayo ma-recommend na mag-jump agad sa tech startup. You can start with your first business muna kahit online. Meron akong mga diniscuss before na walang capital na kailangan. 'Di ba? May nag-guest tayo about affiliate marketing. So, yan. Practice muna kayo sa mga online businesses or gig na pwede niyong gawin online. Huwag muna yung mga ganitong malaki. So, nag-i-invite lang talaga ako ng mga ganitong speakers, no? Or mga kaibigan natin sa startup industry para magbigay sa inyo ng idea gaano pa kalaki yung pwede nyong ilaki. I mean, gaano pa kalawak yung mundo for us moms, no? Na hindi lang online freelancing, na hindi lang online business. Though nothing's wrong naman being an online freelancer, being an online seller, no? Pero mas gusto ko lang na mas mangarap tayo ng mas malaki. Kumbaga, it's also good na alam natin ano yung bigger picture, no? Kumbaga, yung success na alam natin, meron pa palang mas ilalaki, no? So, ganun lang. So, sana nagagets nyo yung point. Tsaka gusto ko nga na tayo mismong mga parents, especially moms, maging open tayo with what's happening in the tech industry. Kasi, di ba, sinasabi ng mga anak natin, si mama, wala namang kaalam-alam to sa tech, ganyan-ganyan. So, patunayan natin sa kanila na meron rin tayong mga ideas. And I'm so thankful na nanonood kayo palagi sa Filipino home-based moms kasi very willing kayo to learn about the new technology, no? So, ganun lang naman. So, hindi lang naman yung mga anak natin yung may alam, especially now na natututo na tayo. Okay? Thank you, Mami Leia. Alright. Nakakatuwa, Mami, ang affiliate marketing. So, maybe you can suggest then, aside from affiliate marketing, kasi we also discuss about content creation, which is blogging, vlogging, what else pa ba yung gusto nyong matutunan? Maybe you can comment that. Kasi magsisimula na ako mag-plot ng mga activities, no, as well as free webinars for February. So, para maisama natin yan. I'm happy na nag-enjoy kayo sa affiliate marketing, content creation, pagtatayo ng digital agency. Yan yung mga naging topics natin last time, no? And then e-commerce, nung absent ako, about e-commerce and dropshipping, pati na pag-start ng sarili nyong online coaching, no, na program with Miss Tony and other inspirational na tips na nakuha nyo from her, no? At nakakatawa kasi sobrang diverse ng mga topics natin. I'm happy na talagang marami kayong natututunan sa iba't ibang aspect ng life, no, and business. Yan, thank you so much po. Siguro, may question ka pala kanina, Francis May, no? Nakalimutan ko na yung question mo. Comment mo na lang ulit. Nakalimutan ko na. But, yes, nakaka-relax talaga manood ng K-drama. Papanoorin ko yung True Beauty kasi medyo na-busy ako nito lately. So, hindi ako nakakapanood ng K-drama. Siguro, ngayong weekend, manonood ako. Saan ka ba dapat magsimula? Freelancer ba agad? Okay, sige. Ako, I highly recommend that you start as an online freelancer. No? Mag-virtual assistant ka muna. Kung halimbawang online seller ka na, so if you are an online seller and then hindi ganun kaganda yung takbo ng business mo, let's say, yung profit hindi ganun kaganda. Okay? Kasi aminin natin sa hindi, meron talaga tayong mga sinisimulang mga negosyo na at first, magfe-fail o di naman kaya hindi masyadong kumikita and we have to close it down and that is fine. Kung hindi nyo man siya i-close, ilalaylo nyo lang muna siya. Ito I'm just letting you know about the different scenarios na pwedeng mangyari. Kasi sa dami na nang nakausap ko, no, ito yung nagiging path din nila. So, yung iba, magtatayo ng online selling nila na business and then hindi ganun kaganda. So, magde-decide sila na mag-apply muna as online freelancer or as a virtual assistant. So, yung isa naman natin is, nag-start talaga siya na online freelancer. Tapos, once na nagkaroon sila ng experience sa pagiging online freelancer, no, or a virtual assistant, kung ano yung mga business concepts, ideas na nakukuha nila from their client. For example, an e-commerce virtual assistant learned how to create a Shopify store, learned how to navigate yung mga tools when it comes to e-commerce. Eventually, siya na rin yung mismong mag-create ng store niya kasi may access siya gaano kadami yung pwedeng kitain sa e-commerce. So, syempre, as a virtual assistant na business-minded din, nakukuha niya yon lahat ng ideas and experience hanggang sa mag-create siya ng sarili niyang e-commerce na store or maybe a platform, no, to support this online sellers or e-commerce owners, 'di ba? So, nagkakaroon siya ng level. So, from being an online seller or an online freelancer, mag-move up dun sa pagiging startup founder na. In my case kasi sabay-sabay. So, from being an online freelancer, sinabay ko yung pagbibuild ng FHMoms as a tech startup. So, magkasabay. Pero usually yung iba naman, mag-start ka na sa virtual assistant. Tapos, sumusunod na lang yung pag-start ng sarili nilang negosyo. Yung iba naman, online business pa rin, para lahat ng communications, lahat ng kailangan gawin online. Pero yung iba nakikita ko, nag-start sila venture din sa mga traditional businesses. So, for example, i-invite ko siya soon. Nakuha ko na yung yes niya. na ma-invite sa FHMom. So, meron na siyang paupahan. Aside from online job niya, meron siyang paupahan, meron siyang cleaning services na rin, meron rin siyang store, no, na grocery store, mga food stalls or mga kainan, no. Nakakatuwa kasi ang dami niyang nagagawa. Tapos ngayon, nakita ko nag-launch siya ng YouTube channel niya. Nakakatuwa si Mami. Ang dami. Eh, ano pa yon? Mom pa yon ng isang baby boy with autism din. This week or this month, I believe, merong sineselebrate din ngayon yung mga awesome moms natin, no? Yung Autism Awareness Week, kung tawagin. So maybe I can also invite moms who are in the freelancing or business rin na may mga anak with autism. Kasi that's an interesting topic. Kasi kung sobrang hirap maging isang nanay, no, first time mom, mas mahirap especially if our kids has this condition din, no, na sobrang hyper and all that, no. So abangan nyo yan. And thank you so much sa mga nagko-comment pa rin. Inaantay nyo ba yung ano ko? Yung pag-guessing game ko? Tok. Yep. I think legit naman sila. Though hindi ko pa natutry yung services nila. Pero yung mga delivery app, yan. That's considered as a startup na rin. Mga delivery app. Yung ating partner sa FHMoms, which is si Aja Deliveries, meron na rin yata silang app, pero they started their delivery services via Facebook lang din. Tapos sobrang dami na nilang customers, okay? So, yun yung maganda. Next, how to create a website. I'll invite someone na online freelancer siya, and then ang kanyang services ay pagke-create ng website. Para siya yung magturo sa atin how to create a website. Kasi ako, when I created my website sa FHMoms, ay sa sarili ko as a freelancer, ginawa ko siya sa Wix. I tried doing it sa WordPress, pero mas mabilis ko siyang nagawa sa Wix.com. Pero, itong tinatanong mo siguro is about the tech startup world, no? So, if it's a website that you wanted to create for your startup company at ikaw lang yung gagawa, baka mahirapan ka. Kasi yung technology na kailangan mong gawin, no, dapat kakayanin niyang ma-integrate yung gusto mong mangyari pagdating sa products and services mo. And kung ikaw gagawa na walang experience, medyo mahirapan ka. Pero if it's just a simple website na gagamitin mo for your job applications, no, kumbaga parang CV website yung peg niya, then you can do it on your own. Okay yun. Pero if it's for your startup business, no, na medyo complicated yung tech, hindi mo pwedeng gawin ng ikaw lang. That's why startup companies, usually nag-hire talaga sila ng web or app developer nila kung tawagin. Okay? How to create a YouTube channel. Mami Vanessa, yung mga how-to questions mo, masasagot yan next month. So, I'll make sure to organize a virtual learning session about these things, how to start or how to create a YouTube channel, how to create a website. So, magkakaroon tayo ng mga guide for that. Ayan, thank you, Mami Zosie. Actually, next month, mas interesting pa yung magiging mga topics natin kasi this month kasi panay entrepreneurship tayo ng mga webinars. But next month, I'll make sure na balance yung mga freelancing at saka entrepreneurship business topics. And then, kailangan kong masundutan kasi na parenting kasi marami tayong mga moms here na first time din nilang maging mom. Yung iba naman, ang dami ng anak pero parang first time nila gawa ng ngayon lang nila na-encounter na pagsabayin yung work at saka yung pag-aalaga ng mga bata. Okay, so next month, abang-abang tayo. Alrighty. Basic video creation or video editing tutorial. Yes. We'll make sure na meron yan. Next month, ako yung magko-coach or magtuturo sa inyo ng tungkol sa basic graphic designing. So, tuturuan ko kayo paano mag-design. Pwede ko rin isingit yung tungkol sa video creation. Sobrang dali lang naman na ngayon yan with the tools, no? So, kahit hindi ako graphic designer or video editor. Kayang-kaya kong ituro sa inyo yan, mga mamshi. So, kayo mag-alala. Of course, yung mga guest speakers natin, hindi natin sila may invite na magtagal sa mga live sessions natin. Kasi hiniram ko lang sila. Pero usually, kapag mga ganitong gusto nyong ipaturo ito, ayan, kaya kong ituro yan sa inyo kahit magtagal tayo dito. Okay? So, yan. Ano yung difference ng freelancer versus virtual assistant? Okay. So, yung online freelancer, yun yung general term para sa mga nag-work online. Okay? Yung virtual assistant, kasi nagkakaroon kasi ng confusion. Yung virtual assistant, nagiging general term na rin siya. But, para lang din clear din sa inyo, kapag sinabing virtual assistant, no, yung mga magiging task mo is iba-iba. Very similar with a secretary na panay online yung task na ginagawa niya. So, an online freelancer kasi can be an online teacher, a virtual assistant, a social media manager, a writer, no? So, kumbaga, online freelancer, tapos next yung virtual assistant. Okay? So, sana clear. Ay, ang dami niyong tanong, nakakatuwa naman. So, yan. Paano mabenta yung mga e-books? Okay, e-books. Sige. Next month, share ako sa inyo how to create an ebook. Then, mag-invite ako ng someone who can teach you about ebook writing. Ayan. And then, tomorrow pala, I invited, sakto yung tanong mo, Mama Jessica. Though this is not an ebook, but a book na talagang mahawakan nyo. So, we're supporting this cause with Pinay Lady Boss, no, na book. So, lahat ng proceeds ay mapupunta sa cause nila to help abuse women. So, may mga contributors dito na mga Filipina founders din and entrepreneurs, freelancers. So, nagsama-sama kaming lahat para ma-create tong book na to. So, bukas, 3 days nating in-invite yung organizers and then mga moms, pati ng mga single. So, ito talagang last 2 weeks ng January, talagang pinuno ko talaga siya ng live Q&A sessions with entrepreneurs kasi para lang mabuo natin yung January. Kasi sabi ko nga, next month, iba-iba na yung mga topics na may encounter nyo. Tapos, mga bagong virtual programs yung makikita nyo. So, tutok lang kayo kasi marami pa kayong dapat abangan sa FHMoms, no? Especially sa mga susunod na buwan. So, we're just starting ngayong January. So, marami pa tayong pasabog sa mga susunod na araw. But, yes, I'll be sharing with you tips kung paano kayo makakapag-write din ng e-books nyo. Kasi si FHMoms, we've been writing our ebook for ilang years, diba? Hindi pa kami nakakapag-release, to be honest, kasi nabibusy kami sa other project. Pero, we're planning sa FHMoms na mag-release rin ng ebooks. Inuuna lang namin yung mga short courses, pati na mga mastery courses natin before launching ebooks. But, definitely, ebooks, together with our merchandise, yun yung mga i-release na products ng FHMoms in the future. So, lahat digital products. Yan, nakikinig sa'yo, Mami MK, habang naglilipat ng mga ilang taon nang hindi ginagamit. Ako din, kahapon. Nung wala akong internet, nakapagtanggal ako ng mga gamit na hindi ko na nagagamit. Yung pala yung naging topic niyo with Mami Tony, no? Hindi ako naka-attend. Ayan. Yes. Actually, meron tayong discussion or live din about accounting and bookkeeping. I believe tomorrow, I'll double check kung ano yung schedule, no, ng accounting na webinar natin. So, with that accounting na live Q&A, ayan, yung introduction to accounting, matututunan nyo yan. And then, sa course mismo, matutulungan kayo ng trainer na ma-certify sa QuickBooks. No? Mami Jessica, how to automate. Ayan yung mga topics na ilalatag natin sa inyo next time. Request po more on e-commerce as a freelancer, not as a business owner. Okay, sige, sure. Mag-schedule din ako niyan. Okay? How to make a logo din po, Mami MK, yung do's and don'ts. Oh, sure. Sige. I love it. So, yung pala yung mga, mga topics na gusto niyo. What if I'm not a computer literate? Pwede bang maging virtual assistant? Naalala ko bigla, hindi pala ako required na sagutin to kasi nagpa-request pala ako sa inyo ng gusto niyong topics. Okay, sige, sige. May short course po ba for non-voice? Yes, yes. Short courses natin, wala siyang trainers na magsusupport sa inyo. So, meaning to say, these are pre-recorded videos na pwede nyong panoorin anytime. Pwede kayo mag-enroll anytime. But if you want na may support kayo with your trainer, may matatanungan kayo and all that, mastery courses naman yun, okay? Ayan, okay, sige. I'll just play a quick commercial about dun sa book na sinusupport natin for this month. And then after nun, I'll be back with guessing game na, okay? Ayan. So, welcome back. So, ito. For our first guessing game, I want you to guess, okay? Wait. I want you to guess, okay, kung saang newspaper, no, saang dyaryo or media tayo na feature, papakita ko sa inyo, okay? Sa FHMoms, okay? So, i-comment nyo lang dyan and then you'll be receiving 3 skill success courses from FHMoms and a one-on-one consultation with me, okay? So, that one-on-one consultation is for 1 hour. Tapos, pwede nyo nang tanungin lahat ng pwede nyo gustong malaman about pagsisimula ng either business yan or paano kayo makakuha ng client. Kung gusto nyo, magkasama nating i-edit yung resume nyo, cover letter nyo, profile. In that 1 hour, bigyan ko kayo ng tips about interview o kaya kung meron kayong upcoming na wait lang, nagsasagot na kayo, ipapakita ko pa yung sige, eto na, ipapakita ko, natatawa naman ako sa inyo, na nyo na agad. Oh, ayan. Oh, sige na. Ayan na. Sige na. Chinichika ko pa kasi kung saan eh. So, ayan. Yan yung natin. So, this is our second time na actually na malagay sa dyaryo. The first time kasi is with a local rin na media or newspaper. Pero, it's in Parañaque lang. So, this one, it's known na newspaper. Pakita ko sa inyo yung article. Andito ko sa gilid, i-frame ko kasi siya, tapos i-display ko. So, ito na yung pinahula ko sa inyo. Okay? So, you'll win a one-on-one consultation with me and the 3 skill success pamigay. Okay? Ayan. So, yung book pala, Mami Elena, you can avail that sa page ng Spark School, no? So, I believe yun yung pangalan ng Facebook page nila. Okay. So, pakita ko pa sa inyo yung, so yan yung niya. I-reveal na natin yung top. But this one, it's a back-to-back na feature. So, yan. So, the correct answer is Manila Bulletin. Ayan, Manila Bulletin. So, ayan, 1 page na back-to-back yan. Diba? Tapos yung pinakita ko sa inyo kanina. So, ayan yung ating feature. So, happy with the feature. So, let's see here. Meron sana si Mami Marilyn eh. Kaso, kulang ng IN. So, hindi natin yan papayagan. Sayang naman. So, hanap tayo ng nakasagot ng Manila Bulletin. Ayun! Ang maswerteng winner, si Mami Gracie Bonete. So, Mami Gracie Bonete, nanalo ka ng 3 skill success courses, no? And then, yan. And then, one-on-one consultation with me. Okay? Next. So, the one-on-one consultation, ang cost niya is 500 pesos per hour. Pero usually, yung mga tao, nabibitin sila kasi sobrang dami nila natutunan dun sa 1 hour. Yung iba naman, pag nagtitipid, sinusubukan lang talaga nila yung 1 hour. Tapos, ready na sila to apply nun. So, kung may mga pag-aagam-agam kayo about dun sa pag-a-apply nyo, ayan, pwede nyo ipakonsult yan sa akin. O kaya, pwede nyo itanong sa akin kung ano ba yung direction na gusto nyo for your online job. Kasi, baka nalilito kayo kung ano yung gusto nyong i-pursue. Though, pwede naman kayo magtanong sa akin via chat, libre naman. Pero ang problem ko kasi with group, with chat kasi, no, nahirapan kong i-assess kayo. So, usually may mga questions ako niyan na ano ba yung mga past na work experience nyo or kung wala ba, ganyan. Tapos, kung ano na yung mga naaral nyo, ano pa yung mga gusto nyo pang aralin. So, may mga ganun pa akong questions. So, kung via chat, medyo hirap ako. And then, usually, kapag via chat, nakikita ko siya sa messenger ko, medyo madami. So, isa-isa kong sinasagot yan. Minsan, pag nagsasagot ako via voice call na lang de, audio na yung sa messenger. So, nag-audio na lang ako minsan. Nahihirapan akong i-explain sa chat. Ang hirap i-explain sa chat. Though, next month naman, sa first Monday ng February, dito, tuturuan ko naman kayo how to start, no, with your freelancing career. Walang problema. Though 4 hours yon, I'm planning lang na this coming February, puputol-putulin ko siya to tagi-isang oras. So, siguro, makukonsume natin yung 5 days, yung first week ng February, tapos, siya, tagi-isang oras per night. Para lang talaga makover lahat ng topics. Meron pa ring certificate, pero announce ko na rin na this will be your last chance to finish the free webinar on how to start working from home na January para ma-claim nyo yung January na certificate for free. Kasi next month kasi, I plan na yung FHMoms free webinar on how to start working from home. Free pa rin yung webinar, pero magkakaroon na ng pay what you can na payment method, meaning to say, it's up to you how much you want to donate, no, to sustain our free webinars. Kasi gusto ko rin sana mag-encourage ng ibang trainers o kaya ng ibang mga mommies who would be willing to teach you. Kasi ako, very willing ako kahit ilang oras pa tayong imagine for the past 4 years, no, straight na 4 na oras, minsan nag-e-extend to 5 hours, tapos minsan may part 2 pa kapag hindi talaga kinaya, no? So, I think, proud naman ako na ako lang yung nakakagawa na magturo ng 4 hours straight na consistent every month. Sabi nga ni Mel, hindi niya rin alam kung paano ko nagagawa yung every month meron tayong ganap or meron tayong webinar. But, point is, FHMoms, especially ako din, no, since ako naman yung nagsimula nito, sobrang willing ako na mabigyan kayo ng chance either to attend the free webinar, makakausap ng trainer, mag-take ng short courses, mastery courses, magpa one-on-one consultation, nag-i-invite na ako ng mga employers, no, to guest sa FHMoms, to hire from FHMoms. Lahat na ng mga pwedeng gawin, ginawa ko na para lang talaga magka-work kayo. And I need your help, no? Na kayo mismo yung makadiscover ano ba yung pwede nyong gawin din to help din yung mga sarili nyo. So, yan. Congratulations, Mami Gracie Bonete. Napachika na naman ako. Namiss ko kasi ito eh. Okay? So, ayun pala. Tawag dito. Yung mga winners, nagpo-post kami sa FHMoms ng ng instructions para ma-claim nyo yung mga prizes nyo. Medyo magbabagal lang gawa ng si Mami Jean. Siya lang din yung nag-aasikaso ng lahat ng mga prizes, no? So, pag wala ako, wala siyang katulong din. Though may mga interns rin sa FHMoms na sobrang laking tulong. Ayan, shout out kay Mami Ness at saka kay Alu na FH Tita. Ayan. So, kung gusto niyo rin maging intern, usually, right now, ang kinukuha kong intern ay yung mga nag-one-on-one consultation with me. So, once na na-check ko na, uy, pwede ka maging intern, no? Tsaka ako pinapasok sa internship ng FHMoms. Yung mga courses kasi natin with FHMoms, before meron siyang internship, but right now, inaayos namin yung system ng internship. So, we focus more on giving you tasks or activities. So, in a way, para na rin siyang internship, but we don't want to target na internship na din kasi mahirapan din kami mag-handle no, ng internship sa sobrang daming tao. Okay? Walang expiration yung skill success code. No? So, yes, that's audio clip. So, usually nag-answer ako ng audio clip na lang. So, pasensya na kasi medyo hirap ako na i-sustain yung pagsasagot ng mga messages nyo. I think yung sa Facebook star comment sa page, magagawa nyo lang siya sa Facebook page. So, if you're watching sa YouTube, wala yatang ganun. Pero alam ko may mga gift na din sa YouTube. So, itong pagbibigay ng Facebook stars, this will help us na masustain yung mga free webinars natin. So, thank you sa mga nagsasend. Ang alam ko, maglo-load muna kayo sa Facebook nyo ng stars. So, pwede kayong gumamit ng GCash or kung meron kayong card, pwede nyong i-connect yan at maglagay ng credits, no? Star credits sa mga Facebook account nyo. Wait nyo lang yung form. Actually, magpo-post ako sa FHMoms ng form para ma-claim nyo yung courses nyo. And magpo-post rin ako ng form para naman din makuha nyo yung certificate nyo sa free webinar on how to start working from home na hanggang katapusan nyo na lang din pwedeng ma-claim yung libre. Kasi marami kasing nagsasabi na hindi pa nila nare-receive for whatever reason. I'm thinking kasi baka mali rin yung email na binigay nyo. Kaya please, kapag mag-fill out kayo ng any form, especially if it's for you to claim something, either prize na napanalunan nyo or a course, no, access or login nyo sa FHMoms platform, make sure na tatandaan natin na maging maingat tayo sa paglalagay ng mga email natin. Kasi once na mali yan, wala talaga kayong marireceive. Okay? Makukuha pa rin po ba? Yes, makukuha pa rin yung certificate kahit free na. Magbibigay ako until katapusan. So, meron pa kayong 4 days to finish your free webinar on how to start working from home na recording na. So, available siya sa YouTube ng FHMoms, Facebook page, pati group. Okay? I-announce ko rin yung instructions about that. So, yung one-on-one consultation, what you can do is to visit bit.ly/FHMomsConsultation. Tapos, din dyan yung details niyan, no, how you can register sa bit.ly/FHMomsConsultation. So, usually, tinatanong ko kayo kung kailan kayo available. Tapos, pag available kayo on that day, pwede na tayo mag-start ng consultation na video call like this. Ay, live to eh. I mean, makikita niyo ako. Online lang siya. So, dahil may COVID, hindi pa tayo makakapag face-to-face. So, instead na group, kasi sa mastery courses natin, that's by group. Ibig sabihin, marami kayong student. So, makakausap niyo yung trainer niyo via chat lang. So, itong one-on-one consultation, kayo lang to. Mag-isa nyo lang, no? Pero, ayun nga, per hour siya. So, with me, it's 500 pesos per hour. So, what will happen with the one-on-one consultation, no? Kayo yung magsasabi kung ano yung gusto nyong pag-usapan natin, gusto nyong gawin natin, or ako, ano yung gusto nyong ituro ko sa inyo, o kaya gusto nyong ipa-assist sa akin. So, para nyo na akong personal na trainer, ang peg ko. And then, at the same time, kung meron kayong mga issues, for example, with your client, hindi nyo alam kung paano yung tamang desisyon, o kaya first time nyo ma-encounter ng ganito-ganyan, hindi nyo alam kung anong gagawin, o kaya may upcoming kayo na interview, no? Yan, pwede nyo akong i-book for a consultation para masigurado nyo na magiging maayos yung next nyo na move. O kaya yung interview nyo, no? Yung mga clients nyo. And kapag hindi naman kayo, usually yung nagpapa one-on-one consultation sa akin, tinutulungan ko mag-revise ng resume, cover letter, tsaka profile. That's after na nagkaka-work na. So, ang napansin ko kasi marami sa atin na nalilito rin talaga sa kung anong online job yung gusto nating hanapin, no? And then madalas may mali sa resume o kaya kulang pa or kailangan pang i-improve. So usually dun umiikot, no, yung mga pinapa one-on-one na consultation ng mga members natin sa FHMoms group. And then meron rin akong na experience na nagpa one-on-one consultation naman siya kasi meron siyang ina-applyan na very similar with Sandbox sa K-drama series na startup. So, sa FHMoms kasi, ang dami na nating naging accelerator program na involved or kasama tayo, such as with Facebook Accelerator Program, which is yung pinaka-familiar kayo, AIM, yung business school na meron silang incubator or accelerator program din. So, ang dami ng FHMom. So, this mom who is also a startup founder na nagsisimula, tinuruan ko naman siya paano siya mag-fill out ng form. Meron namang isa, yung video introduction naman niya, hindi niya alam kung ano yung mga sasabihin doon. So, tinuruan ko rin siya doon. So, ito naman, isa-share ko naman to sa inyo lahat. Pero nagkikreate pa kasi ako ng content sa YouTube at saka sa TikTok. Hindi ko pa lang na ila-live, but soon makakakuha na kayo ng mga tips regarding that. So, either mag-book kayo ng one-on-one consultation kasi nagmamadali na kayong makakuha ng online job o kaya gustong-gusto nyo na talaga at push na kayo. Or you can wait for us na ma-discuss siya sa mga free webinars natin, makapag-post ako sa FHMoms ng mga templates kasi libre naman yung mga templates natin. Lahat yan binibigay namin yung mga files. Itong mga webinars natin for free naman, no? May mga paid courses tayo, may mga paid tayo na one-on-one consultation. Pero, mga ano naman siya, kumbaga kapag need nyo lang. So, walang sapilitan, no? Actually, sinisingit ko lang din siyang one-on-one consultation. So, kung walang magbo-book, okay lang po. Kasi, for me, pangtulong ko lang sa inyo na may malapitan kayo. Kasi sa freelancing industry, hindi kasi to katulad ng sa mga companies na alam niyo yun, pag may problema kayo, may TL or supervisor kayong malalapitan. Hindi siya ganun. So, madalas, kapag nakakuha kayo ng first online job nyo at first time niya ring mag-hire ng employee niya, kayo lang yun. Mag-isa lang kayo working for that company. So, ang dami nyong questions in mind. Paano ba to? Paano ba yan? So, andito ako. Isipin nyo na lang ano nyo ako para nyo akong best friend pagdating sa online freelancing na on-call. Pwede nyo akong makausap anytime. Kahit via chat, sumasagot ako. Pagpasensyaan nyo na lang kapag medyo matagal. Kasi syempre natutulog din naman ako. Okay? So, ayan. Yes, you can let your husband na magpa one-on-one consultation with me. Actually, sobrang gaganda ng mga ano natin. Sobrang gaganda ng mga feedback ng mga nag one-on-one consultation. Sobrang happy sila kasi may nakausap sila. Yung isa, nagkaroon siya ng problema dun sa client niya. Syempre, personal yan. I don't want to announce it here sa live. Pero it's very personal to the point na depressed na siya anong gagawin niya dun sa client niya. So, ako, nag-recommend din ako sa kanya. Nagbigay ako ng mga tips kung anong gagawin niya. And then, after a couple of hours or isang araw lang din yata yun, naging maayos na. So, sobrang tuwang-tuwa ako kasi nakatulong yung mga tips ko sa kanya. And then yung isa naman, yun nga, sa video introduction din, natulungan ko siya. Pati yung isang mommy na hindi niya rin alam kung paano siya sasagot dun sa mga interviews. Tapos, nakakatuwa kasi syempre after revising yung resume, cover letter, at saka profile nila sa job sites. Kasi diba yun yung tinuturo ko sa mga free webinar natin na nasusunod nyo naman. Pero may mga namimiss pa rin kayong ibang point. So, with that one-on-one consultation, makakapagpa-check kayo sa akin ng live or itong face-to-face na video call. Okay? So, nakakatawa. Try to consider that one-on-one consultation. Actually, sobrang okay din niya kasi yung iba kasi nakapag-take na ng mga online courses sa iba't ibang mga groups. Tapos, hindi pa rin sila nakakakuha ng online job. So, dun sa one-on-one consultation, pwede niyong itanong sa akin yan, bakit po kaya hindi pa ako nakakakuha ng online job? Ang tagal ko nang nag-a-apply. So, mga ganun. So, with that one-on-one consultation, ma-identify natin ano yung problema. Kasi, kung tatanungin niya siya via Facebook Live, okay lang naman masasagot ko siya, pero very generic din yung sagot ko. or sagot ng kung sino mang pinagtanungan nyo online. Unlike kapag, 'di ba? Kapag nagpa one-on-one consultation kayo. Ayan. Okay. Actually, medyo nagugutom na ako. Gusto ko pa sana magpa-guessing game kaso nagugutom na ako. Okay, so bukas meron tayo ulit. So abangan nyo lang yan. Pati yung February calendar natin. Announce ko na rin yung ating short courses. Meron tayong podcast virtual assistants na topic or podcasting. So dahil sobrang in-demand na ng podcasting, not just sa Philippines but sa buong mundo, sobrang dami na nag-hire ng mga podcast virtual assistants nila. So, yun yung isa sa mga topics na kasama sa short courses natin. Meron ding online teaching. So, if you're interested to learn more about online teaching, you can take that short course. Content writing meron ata tayo. I have to review kasi kaka-launch lang. So, I'll be happy to answer more of your questions siguro via chat na lang or via comments, no, about sa short courses natin. Ayan. Thank you so much sa lahat ng mga nanood tonight. Sana hindi kayo na-bombard with so much information, especially medyo heavy to. Pero kasi unti-unti ko na kayong ini-introduce sa iba't ibang industries. So before, as you can notice, panay ako lang yung nagsasalita, yung mga mommy trainers lang natin sa FHMoms. But now, sobrang dami nyo nang nakikilala na sobrang happy ako kasi very open kayo with these big changes na ginagawa ko for FHMoms. I hope you continue supporting FHMoms, ano mang mangyayari. Ako naman, ang goal ko is not just to support you sa freelancing or business na gusto nyong i-pursue, but to inspire you na rin and at the same time encourage you na yung susunod na generation, especially mga nanay tayo ng mga anak natin, na mag-guide din natin sila sa kung ano man yung gusto nilang tahakin kasi syempre sila yung bagong generation. Kumbaga tayo, parang naghahanap tayo ng pagkakakitaan, mapa-online freelancing or online business yan, is for us para mabuhay natin sila. Pero yung mga anak natin, gusto natin din silang maturuan habang bata pa sila. Para paglaki nila, hindi na sila yung nagkakanda-gulo-gulo, paano nila hahanapin yung gusto nilang i-pursue sa life nila. So, nandyan tayo to guide them. So, I'm so happy na very willing talaga kayo to learn from all of our free webinars kasi hindi naman madaling matuto, no? So, ayun lang. Sige, kain na tayo. Nakakagutom. Nag-send na ng picture yung asawa ko. So, thank you. Sana magkita-kita ulit tayo sa mga susunod na araw. So, sa mga first time, no, I'll make sure na mabantayan ko kung sino yung mga palagi nang nanonood ng webinar ng FHMoms. Okay? So, thank you so much. Ingat kayo and good night. See you again tomorrow.
Tara na tumutok na sa FHMoms Radio. Habang ika'y nagre-relax sa bahay mo.
FHMoms Radio, changing lives, one mom at a time. Moving forward, giving back with FHMoms Radio.
Tara na tumutok na sa FHMoms Radio. Habang ika'y nagre-relax sa bahay mo. Marami kang matututunan dahil di lang basta chikahan. FHMoms Radio, mga mamshi ating to.
Tara na mga mamshi, mami, nanay o mama, andito na ang FHMoms makakasama. Ang online radio na magbibigay advice at mga kwento na siguradong mapapanay. Ito ay hindi lang basta mga chikahan, andito sila upang ikaw ay gabayan. Turuan ng mga tips sa paghahanap buhay at maging isa ka sa successful na nanay. O diba? Kaya saan ka pa? Basta ikaw ay momshi, dito bida ka. FHMoms Radio number 1. Ito ang online radio ng sangkanan na yan. Di ka lang basta nanay, ikaw ay super nanay. Para sa pamilya ang lahat ay iaalay. Lahat ibibigay, lahat ay kayang gawin. Ang iyong pagiging nanay lalo pang palakasin.
FHMoms Radio.
Tara na tumutok na sa FHMoms Radio. Habang ika'y nagre-relax sa bahay mo. Marami kang matututunan dahil di lang basta chikahan. FHMoms Radio, mga mamshi ating to. Mga mamshi, tara na, dito'y bidang-bida ka. Ipagmalaki natin na tayo'y magigiting nga ina. Mga mami, tara na, dito'y bidang-bida ka. Ipagmalaki natin na tayo'y magigiting nga ina.
FHMoms Radio.
Tara na tumutok na sa FHMoms Radio. Habang ika'y nagre-relax sa bahay mo. Marami kang matututunan dahil di lang basta chikahan. FHMoms Radio, mga mamshi ating to. Tara na tumutok na sa FHMoms Radio. Habang ika'y nagre-relax sa bahay mo. Marami kang matututunan dahil di lang basta chikahan. FHMoms Radio, mga mamshi ating to.
Tambay na! Nagbabalik ang FHMoms Radio.
FHMoms Radio is powered by ValuePod Productions, podcast editing and management services. humanizing personal connections through podcasting.